Make sure you double, triple check. We go live.
How are we gonna do? Check my snare.
Is it?
It should be.
It's just
It says
connecting.
that. There we go.
And we live. Perfect.
All right.
What a perfect angle.
I love it, right? It's nice. Look at that.
How's everybody feeling?
Amazing. Amazing.
We go. We go. All right. Good evening, everyone. This is Unity Meets Diversity, El Igualito's very own podcast. I'm your host, Kimbo Obaye, and joining me,
Sadama beat.
Aquí tiene a tu amiga Haisha o Milolde.
You already know, Jiggity J.
and we have a special guest tonight. Joining me is
Are you giving me?
Yeah.
I'm getting the weird look.
yeah.
Ivon Reborn, everybody.
Ivon Reborn, the infamous.
Oh my god.
She got kind of nervous.
One and only. You know, I keep saying I'm gonna get an applause thing. What do you say? I'm gonna also get little red flags for my videos.
We love you, Ivon. Yeah.
The voice.
Oh, I've heard that. They're like the voice.
The voice.
Behind the podcast. I'm a real girl, people.
I'm so happy. I just want to tell you thank you for giving us the opportunity to be able to share with us your experience on every angle. Thank you for coming to Unity Meet Diversity.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, we're ecstatic. It is, it was a long, or it is a long road for you, but we're excited to, I guess, be part of it, right?
Yeah,
Because this is
yeah.
part of her road, this is part of her journey. So we definitely appreciate you coming on here. We always like to invite anyone to come join us because at the end of the day, we just want to bring unity, and see that there's different avenues and there's different ways of life, and just find a way to just come together, find a common goal and just strive forward, right?
Gotcha.
So, Yvonne.
Ivon has
Tudum.
an
need you.
amazing story. If anybody doesn't know.
First and foremost, grab your beverages, grab your popcorn, some snacks, some chips,
Yeah.
For
you
your
ain't gonna wanna
smokers.
leave your seat.
For your smokers. Your box has to be next to you.
Feel me?
And some alcohol. You might need it.
Oh yeah, and happy Thanksgiving for those who did not watch our podcast.
Yes. Happy Thanksgiving for those who did not watch it.
Happy Thanksgiving. I hope everybody had a good time, because we definitely did.
Or happy what?
Happy belated.
Happy
was-
Turkey Day or happy
mine was
birthday. Some
aight. It
people
was
say happy
pretty good.
birthday.
I definitely ate a bunch. That's what matters, right?
What you did for Thanksgiving?
I spent it with mom.
That's beautiful.
Eating a lot. Don't you know that all the meals in Thanksgiving, they are fat free? No calories. None whatsoever. So
And what was one thing that you was thankful?
Yeah.
life.
Okay.
I like that answer.
I like that
Life.
answer.
You just have another day.
You never know what comes with tomorrow.
Brah.
Life. Life is short.
Oh yes, definitely.
So, some of you may or may not know Yvonne's story. We're gonna get into that, but let's start with
The beginnings.
The beginning, yeah. Let's just start with the beginning of who's Yvonne.
Who is Ivon?
I'm Venezuelan born.
Okay.
Nacida y criada en Caracas, Venezuela. And I had no plans of this country whatsoever. YouTube.
Your mom.
And I was raised 7-day Adventist. My parents were very devout,
Wow.
very devout. My father studied in the seminary, like the real seminary, real seminary. And so I deviated. There were certain things that did not quite mesh with me when it came to religion. And even as I am walking through this path, I've had to make some adjustments to my belief, because what I did was that I went a whole 180. I hate Jesus, I hate God, I hate Christianity. So I started looking for my own path. That was hard because I thought maybe I could go to other non-denominational, because I love their music, like it moves the soul. but the rest wasn't there. So then I studied paganism for several years, two covens. Like I studied, and this is where I learned how to make a bath, how to make incense, how to do little protection spells. Come to find out that that's now basically the foundation of Espiritismo that we had, but they didn't have something. So okay, so they would tell us, Mira, we're gonna do a circle. You're gonna be in charge of water. Okay, sounds good, right? And yes, and thank you to Yamaya, whatever, whatever. So it just didn't work. You know what I mean? So it didn't, you know what I mean? Like it was missing that aspect of the spirituality, that paganism, but I didn't realize I could do both. So then I came here and this was like, oh, esto para mí. So it was a progression.
Yeah, because our religion is one of them that accept you for who you are. You could be santero and keep going to church and
Yeah, but it's just because of the egg bed that I was in, you turn away and you just do this.
Mhm.
But now I'm looking back and I'm like, spirituality. Like I used to think it was very bad to do an Our Father, Padre Nuestro. I'm like, I'm a hypocrite. I'm not a Christian. But I realize now that that's not the case. You're not doing it for you. You're doing it for them.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, you're doing it for you because
Exactly.
you're doing it for them, so that they can help you.
That's exactly how it
See how
works.
that works? See how that works?
You know what I mean? So you know what I mean? So now I've come into terms, opening a Bible for Psalms because I know, for example, my father was a fan. So if my father's gonna help me from over there, I need to give him his fuel, which is that.
yes.
So orar, rezar, and all that stuff.
Luz y
Yeah.
progreso.
So,
And then,
so,
and then,
so, all right. So that's just a little. So, like, I mean, I don't want to get too personal.
Oh, you're
right?
gonna get
But,
personal, don't you know?
yeah, right?
He has the glasses. Ahí está Jair, malvado, haciendo toda la preguntita.
So, what is your career? I mean, did you go to school? Did you do education? Do you have a career? I mean, you don't have to give like too detailed if you don't want. I'm just curious.
I did not graduate college, which is
Okay.
too bad because I was a total nerd.
Really?
I'm a bookworm.
Wait, what happened though?
I can
Why
tell
didn't
by
you graduate?
I can tell by your vocabulary.
Oh, that's interesting because
very
I got in trouble
intellectual.
in my house with my vocabulary. That's a fun story. The consomme. There's a consomme story, and so I lessened my vocabulary for years because I didn't want to seem. You can't curse here, can you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can.
You
We're
can't
dogs.
be a come mierda. And because I used a high vocabulary, his family used to say que I think I'm a come mierda.
Ahí está tu café. It's hot.
Thank you, madam. Y azúcar para la diabetes. Thank you. So language, and I got distracted with the coffee.
Oh, school, vocabulary.
I'm an executive assistant. I work with partners. Basically, my job is to make sure they have all their stuff right,
Okay.
and it's a secretary, very glorified secretary, on title only. But I enjoy
title.
doing that type of work. I enjoy doing that type of work. But I would love to someday move on to my own endeavors. Because what I'm learning from this is that your job really, you at the end are just a number to them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And you might love it because I do. I love my company. I've been with them for a while.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. So we see you're an educated woman, career, todo lindo, todo bonito.
Pero,
So now we're gonna get to the
pero.
nitty gritty.
Deja put a little bit of sugar in the coffee so everything could get like nice
Yeah,
and
let's. I'm
sweet.
gonna do
you know?
something. We're
Right,
gonna
yeah,
sweeten. We're
let's
gonna
sweeten
sweeten
it
things
up.
up, bro.
Yeah.
I'm starting to be very scared. Ya yo sé que me tienen preparado una. They wouldn't even prep me on questions. I'm scared.
Well, everybody that knows Unity Meet Diversity is that we don't have
We don't have
a
a
program.
script.
We don't have a script.
You
We are free
I
flow.
know because I have a podcast, and if you're a guest, you got questions. You know what's
Yeah.
coming, and
No.
yo estoy
We wanna take
asustada.
natural. We wanna see
But
your
that's
natural
reaction.
reactions, your natural responses.
Your eyebrow when it goes like
Cuando está
When
temblando.
her pupils dilate.
She got that. She got that.
Oh my
that little sweat
God.
running down her
So
face.
listen, if my pupils dilate, I'm just gonna do this. All right, guys. Vamos a
So,
empezar merecumbe, esta fiesta. Let's get it started.
let's get it
Let's go.
started. So, Ivon, we know a little bit about your background, and clearly you're here to tell your story. Most of us, well, all of us here have heard it. I'm sure a lot of the viewers have heard it. But for those who haven't, how about you tell us your story, your experience in what is the worship of Orisha, or Santeria, Locumi, or
Hold on.
or
Wait,
Hold on.
wait.
Before you even go there, can you tell us the how did you come across the religion? How did you, get
Yeah,
involved?
let's see.
Before you go into your story.
That's fine.
Because all of that
No,
happened
no,
before your
that's
story.
totally fine. So
Okay.
my mom, I told you that my parents are devout.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, mommy, if you ever watch this, but it was you. Ella agarró y me llevaba a las personas de leer la baraja.
Thank you,
Because I
Mom.
was out of control. Like, we gotta get tirar la baraja para hacerle un bañito y un trabajo to keep her at home. Because I was always outside. And my mom thought I was doing really bad things, which I wasn't. I was just flirting. I guys were cute. Unless I had a boyfriend, then I was just hanging out. I was doing nothing bad. So my mom, like, I was going through a phase. I'm going to get away from church. I have experienced a touch of freedom, and that's it. Like, that broke, and I wanted to hang out, and I was out of control. I was cursing. I was doing everything possibly bad. And the thing is that I didn't know that it was just part of American teenagehood. But to them, Venezolanos, like, kids don't do that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh my God, se va a perder mi hija, se va a quemar en el infierno. So let's go take her para la que lee la baraja.
Open the holy water.
For those who don't know what a baraja is, it's the cards, guys. She got a card. Her mother will bring her to get card
tarot
readings.
reading?
Yeah, the tarot cards.
So,
I had a totally different thing in mind, so I'm thankful that you said that.
but I tell you, that's where I start finding out about certain spirits. That's where I start finding out about, los baños espirituales. That's where the first one that I did, I remember, was un trabajo para Santa Clara. Santa Clara said that for, I think it was 7 days or 9 days, something like that, I had to be home by midnight, and I had to prender una velita behind the door con un vaso de agua, cascarilla, blah, 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 and I had to pray her prayer. That meant I had to be my ass at home, which I did not want to do, but they told me to do it, so I'm going to do it. So from there, esto inspira la curiosidad. And what I realized is I started not being so angry. I was such an angry teenager. I was so mad at the world, at everybody. I wanted to kill everybody, but I wanted to kill first me. I did not want to live. Like, who wants me? Like, this is bad. So I always say that the religion saved my life, because it was not just la religión de Orisha. It was everything spiritual kind of got me together, because when you feel lesser than from the beginning, you're easy to go down a very, very bad, very, very sad, very angry. And I explained it back then. Like, I know that I'm very comical now, but you didn't meet these other areas of my life. And I said, Eeyore, right? Eeyore,
Yeah,
that
from
he has a
Winnie the Pooh.
cloud right on top of him. That was me. And that was like when I was young. And so I didn't have life left. Like, I didn't want to, because I felt there was things missing in my life, and I was very, very young. So it was the spirituality that said, no, you have this and you have the other and you have esto. You need to coger un bañito. You need to go para la gruta allá in the Bronx.
In the Bronx.
Tú tienes que ir para la gruta.
A coger agua.
Yeah, tú tienes que bañarte eso, mija. You better drink it. You're that bad.
I used to do that with her. Every time that she was angry, I would go over there. I
Vete
said,
a la gruta.
let's go over there. You need
Vete a
that.
hacer carro.
You need that water.
Like you
Did
said,
you just
dump them in that
Yes,
holy
wait,
water.
for the
did
head.
you do the waterboarding thing on her?
Yes. Like, yeah. Like, I'm like, you have to do something.
I'm
Come on.
glad
You're
I
like,
know
told us that.
Now we know. Now we know what happened to you.
now you know where-
Oxygen.
Now you know where your PTSD came from, right?
Don't tie me down. Yeah, don't hold me down.
But now you know que estaba ahí cogiendo holy water.
Yes.
Same thing. So it was to bring me back. I was so angry. So that was my raw beginnings.
Okay.
Like my raw beginnings. Eso empezó early porque ya llevábamos tú sabes, la baraja.
So, how did you come across Lukumi?
I had a friend of mine. She kept telling me about Ifa. And I'm like,
Ifa is always so glorified.
Ifa. And I'm like, what the fuck is that shit? Ifa. You have to come to Ifa. And I'm like, she was chasing me down. She's like, I think you're gonna do well there. I think this is for you. Ifa.
Curiosity.
No, that's
No?
not when it hit.
No?
When she said this, she was chasing me for like a year on this. And then she says, have you heard of Santeria? I said, what did you just say? That was the magic word. I was like, I'll go there.
You know what? You know what's funny? Just to go on a side note, real quick, that when people hear that, automatically it's like, oh my god,
Yeah.
or it's either really negative or it's really good.
Yeah,
You know,
it
but
was
it's like
great.
you don't know
Like,
That
nothing.
word is a trigger.
Santeria.
You-
What?
You don't know.
What?
You don't know what a
why didn't you
Orisha's
say
are.
that? That's good.
You don't know what Ifa is. You don't know what anything is until you hear something and you're like, whoa.
That is true because today in the job I was on. It was like three sisters, and I was talking, giving a un consejo to somebody there, and the lady's like, "Did you just say Santeria?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "Do you do reading? Can I come to your to how tomorrow?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Yeah, once I tell people like I'm a santera, they be like, "Wait, you do cleaning? You do cleaning?
Yes.
You got cleaning bags?"
There's a
I'm like, "Well,
need, and that's the thing. There's a need, and what I think this is where, fast forward 20 something years, this is where I'm at because you have information. Ustedes aquí todos son santeros, real ones, real,
Do you guys hear that? Mhm.
Real.
Real.
ones. We still have to vet them and make on like the 5 calls, and blood type and everything. Other than that, so far, all right. But something that may be natural to you is not to an aleyo. So for me, it was important that I be told what bath to take, right? But come to find out, there's a lot of things that do to get themselves at least okay
Yeah.
until that person comes along que te va a ayudar más.
Che.
But a lot of people don't have that information. And then we have people on TikTok, people on Instagram that they're doing all these revoluces. And I'm like,
it's giving scammer
Mhm.
vibes.
That's right.
you add sprinkles. And I'm like,
Cacha. Y vas a hacer un baño. Hace una champaña y cacha. I'm
I
like,
love this one. Amarra tu marido ahora.
si tú
Come
tienes
tie your
que
husband. I
amarrar-
have the love spells. You
Mira,
hear
si
me?
tú tienes que amarrar a un hombre,
con brujería, then
then
something is
if
wrong.
something is wrong, you gotta let it go. We just
Something
had
is
a great
wrong.
conversation about that.
Something is wrong.
So yeah.
I think that we have a lot of concept about this religion, not only about spells, but you do voodoo. I'm like, it's not the same thing. Voodoo is a different religion, right?
Yes,
Yo, I hate.
You know,
hate
I think
when
every
you say, "Oh, I'm a santera," and then they be like, "Oh, you be doing brujeria?"
Mm-mm.
Like,
Well,
No,
you know
you
what?
do
Wait.
santeria.
No, you do the brujeria.
yes, we do.
We
You
do the good.
We
We do the
do.
good ones.
But the thing is, people have a misconception on what witchcraft is.
Yeah.
So it depends
Talk
on the
about
day.
it.
It depends on the day. It depends on the moon and the stars and the alignment of the planets and whether I'm
Okay.
going to answer you or not.
Ache.
So if I tell you tú vas a llegar lejos, that was witchcraft, like it or not, because the biggest witchcraft that we have been bestowed is the tongue.
Ache.
So I just told you que tú vas a llegar lejos. Pues snaps for you because esa energía now is out. That's the biggest spell. I think that people are missing the point because of Hollywood and shit.
Yep.
It's not about, although we do like pots, it's not about the pot and the mixing of the stuff. It's about the intent.
Yep.
This is why
That's a big
tú
one.
vas a estar matando 5 caballos y un elefante y esta persona está humilde con un vasito de agua y una vela
Mhm.
y
Ashe.
teletrabaja
Y a ti
y
no.
tú te jodiste.
Ache.
Mhm.
Not you, by the way.
Yeah, yeah,
whoever.
yeah, I got you.
But again,
Don't worry, we don't
witchcraft.
take things personal. Don't worry.
But you see what I mean? Like the whole thing about witchcraft. So depending on the mood, I'm like, but you do that. And if you want to talk about that, open up your book of Psalms. That's just a big brujeria book right there, filled with spells on how you're gonna kill your enemies and shit, and what you're gonna bathe in and what you're gonna kill to get it done. So I think it's all about belief, and I think that it has a negative misconception. I think that also, irresponsible priests que están dejando animales botados everywhere without doing the right thing and proper disposal
Yes.
is giving us, a negative thing. And it's not just Santeria, it's voodoo, paganism, whatever. If it's not Christian, it's gonna give you that negative thing. And so, like I said, depending on the day, because if you talk about Odoms, they talk about don't curse. And they're like, no, yo no puedo decir shit, fuck them. So I had to inquire about this.
I can say shit, fuck damn.
Shit, fuck them. That's my thing. Shit, fuck them.
Yo, the
So-
Carolina came out of her.
Shit,
Yeah,
fuck
right?
them. Listen, I'm offended. I'm a piss poor excuse of a New York person now, but you don't need to bring that out into the world, girl. So here's the thing: when it comes to witchcraft altogether, right? When it comes to witchcraft, I think that the intention of what you're going to do is far more important.
Ache.
I think that people already in their culturas have their own thing. We have to look at before. I think people need to look at what is for your eguns first. So if you're from, let's say, El Salvador, and you're from Mexico, and you're from Dominican Republic, your cuadros are going to be very different. And then what you do is going to be very different. And then how you behave and how they work through you is going to be different. So if we all have cuatro gitanas, they may not work the same way.
No.
Absolutely.
Therefore, it's going to impact you, but you have to be open. So the witchcraft, I think, is more than that. And I think it just has a negative connotation because it was a way to control earlier another sect of people. And isn't this, anyway, what the whole wars have been about? My thing is better than yours. My land, I want yours. So yo te voy a controlar a ti because you believe in this. So that's a no-no now. And then it becomes this whole negative thing. TV doesn't help. Movies don't help. People que está haciendo barbaridades don't
Don't
help. So I don't know. I kind of feel sad because I don't think in my lifetime I'm gonna see a major change.
That's
Well,
where
I
we're coming
beg to
from.
differ
This is where
because
we're
that's where
coming
we come
from.
in. You know what I mean?
This is what we're trying to do.
Okay.
Trying to bring that unity that we're supposed to have as a family, because it's not only that, oh, you're Santero, we are a family. That's what we're trying to bring, the unity. Ogunda la masa. En la neta,
And
fuerza.
just for the record, we are open to answer questions. It's not illegal. It is not illegal to ask questions here, okay? Awesome. All right, guys.
Oh, boy. So
You see where you started?
me
So you found Santeria. The word Santeria made
is
you
what
light
pulled
up.
me in.
Yeah.
So there's an allure that was just what Lo Santo. That's that secretive what they do trabajos and I want to go there. I'm like, shit, you shouldn't have even said Ivon. Like, what is that? I didn't know what about what.
Babalao,
I didn't know what that was back then.
Oluwawo.
I had
That's
no
right.
idea. And I came in, and it was just when I first heard the drums for the first time. Y eso fue un guiro.
And that's beautiful.
Es spoke to my soul, man.
Yo, the drums always gets you.
Oh yeah.
And that's
Most people.
It might
most
not
people.
be the drums. It
It
could be
does-
the checker.
the
It could be the
chequere.
bell. It could be la canciones. But for me, coño, I was like,
this is where I belong.
this is home. So whenever I talk to
It's
people
that kind of
now,
home.
I'm like, how you know whether Lukumi is for you, Candomble is for you, and Voodoo's for you? You go to those events. Something te va a mover como la sangre.
Ache.
Something
Talk
is
about
gonna
that.
get. So Candomble might be your jam, but it may not be mine. So when you start attending, hay algo que va a pasar. It may not be at a drumming, it may be at an interaction, but it's something that's gonna,
I mean, definitely might happen in a drumming.
you see.
That's when I found my other half over here
Ay, bendito.
in a
Que
drumming.
chulo, que chulo.
I know. Beso, beso, beso.
I think that definitely, like you said, it's when you go to these functions, or even if you just bump into an interaction with a priest or whatever it is, like something inside of you wakes up, you know.
You wait, but you have to be open to it.
Yes.
Yeah, no, absolutely, of course.
Because tu puedes ir cerrada, like, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. And you won't. Your egos will cover you. Y tú no vas a sentir nada.
Hmm.
And you might not be ready.
But that's why we tell everybody, you like, we're like, it's like when we do a misa, we're like, all right, just relax, just open up, and just let everything fluid the way that it needs to. Don't be so like, what's going on,
Like,
and
oh, tense.
I don't want to talk, or I don't want to, when you tense up, and it's like you block yourself, and then it makes it
But you got
difficult.
to understand where they come from. They're scared. And you are there. So if I'm a brand new person going to a misa for the first time, you may say that, but that's not how they're going to be. You have to meet them where they're at. They're scared. They're nervous. They want you to tell them. It's just where they're at. So they're gonna tense up, which is why I think I like doing, like, I like it when cancioncitas are sang, because people start kind of like putting their guard down just a little bit, but it's just where they're at. So you can't tell them to relax, because don't you know you're married? You don't tell your wife to relax. That's not gonna work.
I
So
tell
say
everybody to
for-
relax.
No.
Just take it easy.
No.
Just pray.
Just,
And I'm
just
nervous.
Just clear
a
your
little bit.
Yeah,
mind.
you're not. And then the moment you say just relax,
Yeah.
That's what happened. That's what happened between them. Relax, Louis.
Don't tell me to relax. Don't tell me to relax. I feel like something's coming.
right? Don't tell them to. You should do, like, you know what, spiritual yoga right before me.
Yeah, right. Forget about it. Una mesa que coge 5 horas, it'll take the whole day. But with some yoga before,
Why not? I'm a fan of the yoga situation.
no, I'm a fan of yoga too. But I just don't think we should mix that together with misa. It's only because it'll take so long.
I know it would. Or people fall asleep right afterwards.
Yeah, true.
Y se jodió la misa.
Yeah, se jodió.
Well,
So
I
hold
always
on.
fall asleep. I mean, that's what everybody thinks.
But
I'm
you're not,
sleeping.
yeah. Because the thing is that when you do that, you start like snoring. So we don't know if you're in a trance or you are just sleeping. So that's like everybody look at you like,
What's going on with this guy?
it's like, what happened to Padrino? He fell
We
asleep.
only, we only
I'm
been
like-
here for 10 minutes.
He's like,
Yo tengo el muerto dormilón. You hear me? Mr. Sleepy walks with me. That's my muerto.
Sleepy.
nom, 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 nom.
Disney's gonna come and get you. They're missing a dwarf. Sigue, ahí va a venir Disney.
Oh,
Te
man.
voy a sacar los chavos.
All right, I don't think we've laughed so much at this table.
I know,
This is-
right?
It's
This is really
crazy.
great. This
I
is
mean, my
great.
head is starting to hurt. I'm laughing
Yeah.
so much.
Oh, gosh.
What? Esto porque no me dieron pregunta para prepararme, because I know they're saving it. I'm just waiting for it.
We're just about to shoot them out.
Mm-hmm.
So you went to a drumming and it got you. The drums got you.
I felt it in my bones. I fell in love.
Mm,
And then it was the race to try to find a godparent.
yeah. And this is in New York.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I remember the first bembe that I attended, which is funny, funny, funny.
Where it was? Let me see. Let me hear this.
This was in the Bronx, but it was funny, 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 because the woman who was there, she was the madrina crowning another. So she's a normal Oshun crowning another Oshun. That was my first event. So you know how they say be there at 3 o'clock or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
Shoot, I was there like an hour before.
And nothing is start on time.
So I got to spend time with her.
Yeah.
And de lo que estaba en la cocinera, la madrina, la jubona, y el yawó, the end. I'm like,
Got to know everybody.
I didn't know anybody. I was brand new. Brand new, brand new, brand new, brand new. And it was interesting because I knew that once that started, that I was gonna go into the back. So I got to literally like my eyes couldn't take enough. It was beautiful. There was a whole theme on the butterflies and whatever for that, which is interesting because I had bought my pañito que tenía all these butterflies. My husband made fun of that for years, but to me, I'm like, I just was so happy with my little pañuelito with my little things. I was so excited, and I got to ask questions that I normally could not or would not. So I see this woman later, and I'm looking at her like a month or so.
Yeah.
What?
If you ever take a second and you look back to the you were welcomed into it, right? With the with the drummings and stuff. Kind of explains why you where you at right now.
It's all signs.
Can't. But I saw her. I looked at her. I was like, "Do you know me?" She's looking at me. You're so and so, right? She goes, "Yes." Look at me, dude. This was like 20 something years ago. She goes, "I remember you." I said, "And you read me in your house in Brooklyn months later." She goes, "I know who you are." So that's when she gives me a hug. So I got to see her about 2 months ago. That same lady.
Nice.
So it's so interesting. And I'm like, "You're not in New York no more?" She goes, "Yeah, I left New York." She's in Georgia now. So I got to see her at an Aña. And I'm looking at her. I'm like, it was great. Because that was my first experience
That's awesome.
in a bembe. But it was a Guido, but still, I didn't care.
It was good. I like Guidos.
I like Guidos.
I love Guidos. I mean, I respect my Anya, I respect Apericula, but Guido is something that I just like, I don't know, just like that. You know what it also is that I love rattlesnake
Mm.
and that little
Check it
it gets me.
Nice. No, it's nice. It's nice. Yeah. Nice. Nice. Because Guidos are a lot of fun.
Yeah, yeah.
Guidos are a lot of fun. Guidos are because there's a respect for Anya.
Yes.
So I get it. But Guidos are a lot of fun. I'm with you.
Yeah.
It's more like the party, like it's the it's the
Like the
festivity, like
feeling,
yeah,
yeah.
we about to turn up, yeah.
Yeah, now it's more like the Sunday mass.
So you guys are good with the nice intro
Yeah, I'm
questions and
just
stuff. We just
interested.
ready to go.
I'm ready to go.
Oh,
Where did
no.
things
Yo le
turn
estoy viendo
left?
la malicia, amiga.
Where did things turn left?
Yeah.
How did things turn left?
I was trying
Let's
to get
go,
her
baby
up to
girl.
meeting, you know.
No, I don't
Got it.
trust them.
You know what happened? We start getting the mold, then we started making the cake mix.
So listen, I know my way out. Like my car's ready. I started. It's running.
The doors have been locked.
I just want. Let me tell you, that was an excuse for me to know where my car was. Let's go, baby girl. I'm with you. I'm scared.
Oh, I'm doing good.
Nah,
Go ahead.
you
Oh, dang, I should have stuck.
Yeah, you should have.
I just want to know, did you right have like a negative experience within the religion, and if so, how?
So the question would be, is it before the egbe or after? Because then that's a different question.
Mm. So now I know it's multiple experiences. I would say after you saw, after like you saw the behind the scenes of it, because everything for some reason always starts off good and then it's always something that leads.
Okay, so then I think you're talking now at egbe agbe liberty. I think that's the part when I see things. So I didn't see things right away bad.
Wait, before you continue, did you see anything bad before that? Like before Egbe?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So touch on that.
Yeah.
So I started Orisha Wisdom in 2000, the end of 2017, right? The
What is
podcast.
Orisha wisdom?
It's a community. And the whole started was because one time a bunch of people were sitting at a table and me being me. What was the experience that you wish you would have known before you made Ocho? What was something you wish you would have known before? So we started walking around and I realized, holy shit, like it's the same issues over and over and over. So I said, maybe I could do something with that. So that's how Arisha Wisdom was born. But then Faux Fa, Faux Ifa says that I can't be on camera. That's how the podcast is born because it's just sound. Because what I wanted to do is have other people not go through a lot of the things that other people were going through. Because at this point, people are now talking. And I started asking other people, like, if are there things that you wish you would have known? So that's how that's born. So when I get to start the podcast in the community, um, I'm like, okay, how can we prevent going through bad situations? But understand, 2017, I'm still thinking I'm a priest of Yemaya. I'm a bona fide priestess. Like I'm
So,
thinking all this stuff at
so
this
at
point.
this point, you are in Egbe already.
Yeah. So I got with my husband in 2005. Um, get pregnant in 2006. We did not get married until 2009, but we were already living together by 2006. By 2006, basically, and this is a word that I'm going to use, and I'm a little uncomfortable using it, but it is the appropriate word. So, to my little big brother, when he sees this, he's going to understand. By that time, I was already indoctrinated. By that time, it's like a horse. So I couldn't see what was here, and I didn't want to see. My goal was to please my husband, please my Orisha, and my Egbe. And of course, family, but we're women. We're going to do that naturally,
Hmm.
we're religiously. You know, so at that point, it's I didn't know that there were a lot of things that were wrong because you do not question your elders. And he is the one who created Egbe Agbelebutioshe because when you can go to your own house once you have. So he went and did that. So there was a big weight and responsibility as his wife to be the wife of an elder. There were a lot of things that were expected of me, but I just was never able to do a good job. And I'm very intense. And I know that I'm intense. But in that Egbe, that intensity was bad. So they told me that's why you're a bitch and nobody likes you. You just need to tone it down and you need to do this and you need to do the other. And now it's very different because now if I step into a room, I lead with I'm intense. Sorry, I have no feelings right now, but I'll love you later. But we're gonna get into
Intensity is appreciated around here, so you good.
We are all
but not
intense
over
here.
there.
Very
And
intense.
so I had to relearn that the things that they saw as flaws were not. But it's more like now, oh shit, maybe I'm not that horrible of a human.
It sounds like they're trying to brainwash a person over there.
I don't think trying is the word.
They demanded it.
I think we could laugh about it and joke about it, but this is the reality of it.
Right.
It happened so subtly, so subtle. And it got to the point of it just was. So when I speak now, it's almost like I'm looking at her as a different person, not me, just someone else. Because how could I do that? How could I allow somebody to tell me how horrible I'm constantly being for the religion, for Orisha? And there was the fear factor of, bueno, if they do that, then the Eguns are going to kill me and Ogun is going to kill me. And, this is Elegwa's house. Then Elegwa could do whatever he wants. So then you're living in a state of constant fear for not measuring up. It's not fun. When you're trying to be a certain thing, your expectations are a certain thing, but you're not measuring up ever. You never measure up. It does things to you. It leaves a type of scar that you don't see. And so, this, I think, is something that now I still speak to people in the community, and they've had experiences that are similar, maybe not to the same degree, but now they're all questioning their own, selves. And like my husband would tell me, you don't make good decisions. So now I'm questioning, like, do I make a right step or a left step? Do i do i stop here? Because I don't make good choices, because I was told that for so long that it became my reality. So brainwash, you don't even get to see it that way. You don't even know where you're at. I've seen the shows when the Amish escape, or when they escape like those types of spiritual situations, and they come out into the real world, and they're like, wait a second, I can put lipstick and nobody's gonna kill me. I can do this, like I can do that. And it has been like that for me, but on a very fast track. Hmm.
That's deep.
No, yeah,
Very
definitely.
deep.
It got intense.
Yeah,
She started
it's
it.
like cults.
I mean, that's kind of what it is if you think about it. I mean,
Yeah.
um, it's definitely it's crazy how, looking back now, as you're saying, like, you're like, I didn't even realize that. Like, how the heck? Like, I was this person. This was Yvonne. Yvonne was, I'm fierce. I'm tense. I'm whatever. I speak my mind, and I walk like I actually, have confidence in my steps to
To this.
this, right? So I know, like, that must be like hard, because you're like, these are realities now that you have to face, and like you said, now you're trying to relearn who you are. You're like, all right, so who am I now? You
But
know,
that's the thing. When you when you are standing on whatever your life is, when something like that happens to me, so in one shot I lose my husband. He's asked me for the divorce. I had to leave a child behind. I had to run. Um, fuck it, might as well. So he tries to get me arrested. And what he didn't know is that I was working with a particular person who happens to work for the government. She's like, Yvonne, you have to leave right now. And I didn't realize, they're like, if he tried to get you arrested, he will continue to try, and you must leave. So I leave the next day. When I leave, think about it. I also lose my house,
Yeah.
right? Soon after, by that point, I had already been kicked out of the house. So then I lose my spiritual family. So over there, they did two funerals for me, very similar to Itutu's. So now no one is allowed to speak to me because I am dead.
That is so crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and I was expected to pay for it. Many of my Santero friends said, absolutely not. You are not going to do that.
That's the most
Did
ridiculous
you?
thing I've ever heard.
No,
Of course you should have.
Yes,
no,
Graham.
I did
Stand
not.
on business.
So what they said to me was, "You will not do that." And these are santeros. I love my children of Oshun and Yemaya and Shango, because they've been phenomenal for this. They were like, if you paid them, you're basically committing sacrilege against your own spirit. So you're paying somebody to do an itutu, so you're not even giving yourself worth Absolutely not. They don't call it the tutu, they call it the exit ceremony, which is very similar. You have to bring a bird
Hmm.
that is for the ending. Un etu. Those things are devil. I'm sorry. Esos son el demonio.
Yes. A cancellation fee is what we're talking about here. A
That.
cancellation fee. That's
And
crazy.
you have to bring platos, vela, paño blanco. What does that sound like? And I know those dishes are now grabbed up
Grabbed
and
up.
they're broken. So
Yes.
when I tell that to other priests, they're like, but that sounds like an etutu. Have you seen an etutu? And I thought about it. I said, yeah, I have actually. That's true. Lo plato de la sonra. So it's
Yes.
like combining la sonra, la honra, but we all know it as sonra. So es como combinar la sonra con un etutu. And then they don't speak to you. And they're like, they've already committed the most sacrilege you could do is to the spirit, to to the spirit that is
Alma, like,
yours.
what makes
Yeah.
you
So
you.
These people deserve to be exposed. Like I'm like standing on that. I want to know who you are, cause you could like that alone. Like that's some manipulative, inconsiderate, selfish act that one can do.
I could imagine how many people else they did it to.
I would give them a piece
they
of
have,
mind.
they have.
That-
So
The
They
energy,
have.
the energy behind. I mean, to just kick somebody out, it's like, yo, get out. All right, that's it. You don't gotta come around.
oh
But
no, they
to
had
do
a
that,
meeting which I was expected to be in, but honestly, I was so sick at that point. I couldn't. I remember I couldn't, and I knew what it was gonna be because what they do is they summon you. So you, when you're summoned by the council of elders, you better make an appearance. But it got to the point of I just no longer care. And I will not sit there so that now they can tell me how much more horrible I am. Like I can't do that anymore.
it's like we're gonna kill you, but you gotta go get us the gun and bullets.
Basically, and you're gonna hold it, and you're gonna hold it,
you
and
gotta
you're
load
gonna
it up.
stand there nice and still, and then you're gonna be sorry about it. And I just decided I'm not gonna do that. And I knew that the moment that I didn't, because I was like, like literally like panicked. Because when they call you, eso es papánico all the time,
Mhm.
and I had just been through one. And when you sit there, and that's the thing, I only posted one. You guys haven't seen. There are others. It's hard that fuck it. Let's put it all on the table. I'm still very embarrassed that I allowed it to happen to me.
You shouldn't be embarrassed.
But that's not how I feel. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I
Of
mean?
course,
Like,
of course.
and now I'm talking to other people. So I met somebody. We were vending together because I make artsy things. And she's sitting next to me. Preciosa, una blanca, pero bien linda, una jovencita. Studied, she finished her degree. I think she has a master's. Her man got angry with her because she told him not to go out in the middle of a hurricane because they were evacuating. So he drives and does whatever it is, and the car is washed away by the rain. So when he gets home, all wet now, no car, because it's been washed away, he gets angry with her and he throws her a hammer. He didn't hit her. But the point is,
Mm-mm.
how did that wind up being her fault? So we were talking about this, and I realized we're different, right? Different races. Ella terminó escuela. She's beautiful. She's a stunning young girl. It doesn't matter the education level. You will just go through this, and it'll hit you. By the time you realize that that's it, you're in this type of relationship, and you don't even recognize it as you're walking in. Scary. Because
Very
it's her
scary.
fault in her office, but it's her fault that the car got washed away.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, that's crazy. I'm sure that there's a lot of people
No, no.
going through these type of situations.
For some reason, some like people like that know exactly who to do things like that to.
Correct. So my pere fue un orisha, because if we're here on a spiritual journey. Okay.
Yes.
And the question you asked is, well, who are you now? That's the thing, you don't know. When you are in this situation, you're going to doubt your own existence. Should I even? Have I? Can I? You know what I mean? Who, maybe this is wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Your self doubt kicks in, which is why I say, my fue ego, I wouldn't be here right now to tell this tale if it wasn't them and it was other people's egos. You know what I mean?
So sometimes other people's egos come in like a lifesaver
I
or a
will,
battery.
I'm telling you, they really do. And I think that there's a lot that we don't understand about the spiritual world because I can
Gotcha.
meet you, I can meet you, but your muerta will say, you know what, I really like her. I'm going to help her. Pero I don't know why yo tengo que decirle algo. You just do it because there's things that go on in the other world
Mhm.
that we are clueless about.
Absolutely.
And we don't know why.
No,
That is
it's
true.
true. It's true.
And
You
you have
just
to follow through. So if
That is
like her
true.
muerta, it's like you're gonna do this and you're gonna tell it to her. There's gotta be a
Mhm.
reason, there's gotta be something. Maybe we're gonna be connected. There's some stories I could tell you right now. They're like, Yvonne, we wouldn't be here because of this or that or the other. And I'm looking at it and how that played around. It's interesting. It's just the spiritual plays a big part, but you have to be open to it también.
Mm, mm, mm.
Let me tell you, I think that your egos are fighting for your hard body ever since that whole thing happened. I mean, because look how far you've come, since learning it all. I mean, a lot of people have heard your story, and your story have touched a lot of people, believe it or not, whether you know that or not. So I
I've
think
heard
that's
some
that's that
things.
speaks on your egos alone, right there.
Let me tell you, like right now, I just felt like something pushing me like this,
I
right? I was at my job. I didn't know she was coming today. I was at my job and I saw Tomasa in the corner.
I love
I'm looking at her,
Tomasa.
I'm like,
Tomasa's my lady. Lucy Progreso.
I'm looking at Tomasa, I'm like, oh, you doing my job? I'm coming home, I'm coming home. And I'm like, right there. She's like, viene alguien para allá. Y yo, ajá. He said, be ready. I'm like, okay. So every time I was passing, so I called Kevin. I said, babe, what's going on today? She said, no, because we're gonna have an interview today. That's when you guys started testing. I'm like, okay, now I know. So I knew you was coming.
Estos muertos. I don't know.
And
Estos
I go,
muertos. That's all I gotta say. Estos muertos.
Son bien chismosos.
and then I
Estos
come down the
muertos.
stairs. I come down the stairs, and she's like, "You're not gonna introduce her?" So I'm like, "Okay, hold on a minute then." That's not what I said. You went to the bóveda.
Porque yo soy bien respetuosa. I will kind of skim, pero that's not my business. So I just keep like, but I do say hello, hello, hello.
And then I told her something there, and I'm like, she's like, "Uh-huh." I'm like, "Okay." So she's on point.
Estos muertos, man.
Más fuego.
My friend
I'm telling
Fuego.
you.
Fuego.
But I love that. And because of things like that and the interest that other people's egos have had in me is why I'm standing because honestly, I was not supposed to stand. I was supposed to just
Yeah, because that's how they want. That's how they
to
wanted you,
die
and
or
they want you there
crazy.
like that.
Yeah, but no,
But
my
I'm
egos have another idea.
yes, they always do.
Estos muertos están muy busy
They
haciendo
always do.
escándalo.
But you know what? You have to feel proud of yourself, like I told you earlier, because if it's not because the experience that you went through, you would not be there sitting down
Gotcha.
saying your story to other people that they might going through those same situation at this time.
Yep.
You know what? I agree with you, but it's kind of hard
It
because
is.
you don't want to be, and I've said it, although in a joking manner, like I don't want to be the poster child in the back of the freaking, you know, half a gallon of milk in the religion. Pero honestly, do you know how many ochas I've paid over and over and over and over?
But you know that sometimes this is what we gotta. Some people come to do tronos. Some people come to do this. Maybe this is what you came here for,
Yeah,
to
check.
open somebody else eyes
Yeah,
that they
be
are
a
blind.
lifesaver.
Somebody else
To
they
be
don't
the
have no
voice.
voice. Somebody else they don't have nothing. They don't have the courage to get up and say, you know what, something is wrong here, and I have to go.
But that's the thing. I think aquí es donde empieza el problema. El problema empieza con eso. Because when you start out, right? I was a lot like this, but younger and a lot more volatile. And I had to mellow out because I had to be, the perfect Yoruba wife. And then after that, it's like, where do you go? Like, ¿quién eres tú? And what are you gonna do? But the problem is that you don't realize how much power you do have as an Alejo and a Borisha. And when you come in here, all rules go out the window because you're a priest now. A damn priest. He's never gonna do anything wrong. I'm gonna listen to this one priest because this one priest, I'm gonna put my life in his hands. Therefore, you're gonna look out for me and you put boundaries out the window. Ahí es donde empieza el problema.
Yes.
Yo,
Exactly. Definitely yes.
Ahí es donde empieza el problema because that's what happened to me. Because I was very outspoken like you.
Oh, she is.
But
Very.
that didn't
Listen.
happen anymore.
I'ma never lower myself for nobody. I don't care who you are.
But you don't
Because at
see
the
it
end,
that way.
it's gonna be me.
But you
When
don't
you
see
leave,
it that way.
it's gonna be me.
But you still don't see it that
But
way.
you could do that. You could be like that, but always respectful.
Yeah,
You could,
that's
but
what I'm
that's the
saying.
thing.
At the end, it's
You
always
don't.
you.
But that's not even the part that I was talking about. The part is that you let go of all boundaries. So in my job, you're not gonna come to me, tirarme algo encima. I'll sue you, right?
Absolutely.
But funny, I allowed it here
Mm-hmm.
because this is spiritual. This has a different meaning. And this, I think, is what I would like to raise awareness that it doesn't matter. You got 25 years of whatever the hell. Tú no tienes el derecho de hablarle a una persona de esa manera.
Absolutely.
But I did not think I was worthy enough of that. Therefore, I allowed it.
Now, do you allow that now?
no, she's worth
Hell
a
no,
million.
look at that intensity.
See
Look
that?
at that intensity.
She's
I
worth
just
a
wanted-
$1 million now.
I just wanted to see that. And we said, I just wanted to see that look. You see that look?
Yeah. Hay mucha
Yeah.
vida todavía.
You see that look there?
I see the fight.
Oh yeah,
The
mommy.
fire's coming back. The fire's coming back.
As it should.
But but you know what? I can understand what you're saying because this is something sacred, right? Like we come to this and you're like, this is sacred.
Yes.
It's like if like for example, me being raised Catholic, you go to the church, it's like you're like it's the priest. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like he's not gonna do anything wrong to me. He's a priest. He's a man of God,
That's
right?
the issue.
So that's kind of like what this is, and sometimes it becomes hard to realize like, is this okay or is this not okay? You know what I mean?
But I think that this is an issue. So over time, it didn't happen in a blink of an eye. So this did not happen just last year. The thing is, last year he asked me that question, which is what drove me out to do certain things because I had no choice. I would not have done that if I wouldn't have had that venue. I'm very loyal to a fault, but sometimes you got to be loyal to yourself first.
Okay.
And this is why I say that remember that we were all talking earlier and they asked me, what would you like? What did you see? And I said, the foundation. My foundation was not straight. So my foundation was non existent. So I was easy prey because now there's a certain like you walk into a room like something's off because tú estás conectada con lo tuyo o conectado con lo tuyo. But when that is severed, you don't see red flags. You're just walking into the open. You see nothing, you feel nothing. So this is why I say this is so freaking important. You want to get initiated? Bóveda. You want to do misa? Do that first.
So
Right, I'll check.
so now that you know everything that you went through, right? Do you want to read that question for last?
I just
Yeah,
go
yeah,
at this
yeah.
point.
Let's-
Ya me
let's-
tienen
let's-
nerviosa
Okay,
esta
okay.
gente.
There's some things for the end still.
Okay.
I feel like
Okay.
she didn't really touch on the egg bed part. Though.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm just
yeah.
trying to get her, so
Because
she can know that I'm coming with a question.
Got you.
We ready. We ready.
Ooh.
We are ready.
You know,
to
some
get
of the-
I don't trust them. Tú
story.
ves esa pandillita ahí. Yo no los
No, 'cause
trosteo.
the public knows that you've been through some things, but I feel like we haven't really gone into any of the
Go
details.
ahead.
So no, dale
No,
tú,
you
ya.
go because it's
So-
a lot.
Tell your
So
story however you want to tell it.
the story's long.
My details are more like so
We should go into certain aspects of it so that I could go because the story's long.
so the name of your ile was,
Egbe agbelebuti oshe egungun.
and they are based out of where?
They used to be in the Bronx or wherever we were at, but now they're in North Carolina, Mooresville particularly, because that's where he lives.
Expose the names of who run that.
John Garcia, I was married to him. Irma Gonzalez, she's still in the Bronx and then back and forth. They're the ones who run it. There's a couple of other elders, which is sad because they are really like they're really legit, but they believe this.
All right, beware of those scammers, guys. Beware.
So what? I mean, I know the story is really long, so I just want to kind of
Yeah,
give
that's
people a
why I
little
think
bit of
we
like
should just cut
details.
because
But I think that even though the story is
Um,
long, I know that you could just
short.
Summarize.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, summarize. There you
I'm
go.
gonna give you the gist, but maybe if there's a part you stop me and then we
Yeah.
can go into that part. I think that'd be better. So
Okay.
Awesome.
I was having issues in my marriage anyway, so things have not been that great. But we're Latinas, and we're told you deal
Mhm.
with this, especially when they're children. Absolutely, I'm gay. I'm a Latina through and through. I'm gonna be on my man no matter what. But in March of last year, he asks me for a divorce. Now, when he does that, I couldn't go to my godmother for a reading because we also bought a house with her. Our house was bought with her. When I tell you I didn't see a lot of things, I didn't see it coming. Mind you, them two, they're the ones who chose the house while I was here in New
I
York.
think I finished my drink over here because this is gonna get interesting.
You need liquor in that one.
I think
You need
I think
some.
just the cup is just the cup.
This is where I have to go to a reading outside because, okay, we're about to get very, very serious. There are going to be some pieces that are not in the original video. So when I come out with a new phase because I didn't know what the hell to call the damn thing. And that video was done for weeks, but I just didn't have the courage to press publish.
You're talking about the 1 hour YouTube video
The
explaining it
original,
all?
yeah. So that original one, that was a long time.
Go look up her story on YouTube as Ivon Reborn.
Ivon Reborn is the name of the channel, or Orisha Wisdom is still the name of the channel. But if you put New Phase or Omileti New Phase, you'll find it, or you guys can link the video.
Go look
There's
that
a
up,
place.
guys.
So okay, now
So
we
wait, so you're saying that you had that video for weeks before you posted it?
yeah,
How many weeks?
a couple of weeks, man,
2, 3 weeks?
something like that.
Wow. That video looks like you did it right there on the spot when you
No.
watch it. That's amazing.
No, there's some videos that I don't post right away, like the Obatala one. That was also one that I held on for a while. There's a couple of videos because they're difficult to watch. But I know that if I'm gonna tell the story, yo no puedo estar llorando every 2 seconds. You know what I mean? But there's a lot like the Obatala was very hard for me to make because that still gave me a lot of not great
So
feelings.
you do that to build your immune system, so you'll be able to watch it and
Yes and no. Mira, Orumila said I needed to tell my story. That's not something you want to do.
Yeah,
Okay?
not Jeff.
You just don't. And they knew that I didn't want to do it. So they had to do it both to make me want to do it because I didn't want to do it.
brujeria.
Brujeria.
The good one, the good one.
Good one. That was the good brujeria. You know what I mean? So now I have to go elsewhere for a reading because now my husband is pushing for us to sell the house right away. You just told me that my marriage is going to shit. But now let's go. Vamos a vender la casa. Right? Remember when you was like, what do you do? It's like your whole life gets out from under you. You're not okay. It was bad enough that I wasn't sleeping at that time because this is before that first one. That's the one that the secondary video, because nobody believed me. That's why I posted it. Nobody. Baba John would never do that to you. Press play. You tell me. And that's just one. So when that happens, I have to go get a reading just so that I could prepare for the sale of the house. This is where I go outside the house. So this is another betrayal that I did to the house, but I couldn't go to my elders. I wasn't going to go to John. He just asked me for divorce. I wasn't going to go to Irma because we're about to sell the house together and she does not really back me up. It's always him. So was I going to go to Omiara? She backs anything he does. I felt like I was in a corner. So this is where I go else for a reading. And I'm here for the sale of the house. What does Alegba have to say about that? And can I save my marriage? That was gonna be my secondary question. You know, where you get a reading, do you have any questions?
Let me
That
go-
was my question. Can I save my marriage? Alegba says absolutely not. You're not gonna save the marriage. You're done. I
As you should.
tried. I tried. Alegba said no. Pero ahí es donde sale that the reading wouldn't close. Ahí es donde reading would not close. So I'm like, wait a second. So we came here for the reading of the house, right? The sale of the house. Ahí es donde hablan, te van a quitar dinero between your husband and her. Ahí they're going to take money away. And it's true. She took half the house instead of the 1/3. I let her have it. I'm like, you're hungry for money? Fine. You can have it. Because she said she was going to sue me. I have the letter and everything, so I don't want to hear it's a lie. So from there, ahí es donde the reading wouldn't close. Ahí es donde sale legua y dice, because it wasn't, you know how it is. Is it this? Is it your job? Is it your head? Is it da, da, da? No, 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 no. We were running out of what? And so she's asking me questions about my ultra, and I'm answering. She goes, I don't think so, but let me ask anyway. She asked, does it have to do with the OCHA? Yes, finally. But it wouldn't close. We didn't know what questions to ask because at that point, I'm thinking I'm an olorisha. So the question was, can she check her OCHA first, and then can you close? Because we can't. We didn't know what questions to ask.
Yeah.
So ahí es donde sale that once I agreed that I'm gonna have my OCHA check, then Alegba said, okay, we're good, we're good, we're good. So a few months after that is when I go to the four Babalaos. That's when I called John McCoy. And how that happened was an accident because we were joking around and how he does he has certain nuances that are funny. And we were laughing about that. She goes, you should tell him. I'm like, he's busy, bendito. I haven't spoken to him in a while. But I called him and lo and behold, the man was available. And that's rare because
Un babalao, a responsible babalao.
he's busy all the time. And I'm like, when I
The
tell him,
stars aligned, as they say.
Yeah, yeah.
and for him to pick up a phone, even now that I'm his, he won't answer my phone. Just saying. So ahí es donde I talk to him and he freaks out. Whoever knows him knows he's the chillest babalao. You could drop that. He's like, don't worry about it, babe. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Not with this. That man was screaming that I had my earphone over here. I could still hear him. He was not happy. He was not happy. And that's when he put together four babalaos that they didn't know why I was there or that who was coming. All he told them is, this is a confidential reading. A girl is coming. That's all they knew.
Okay.
And that's the beginning of crazy.
And so what did you bring your orishas to them to check them
No,
out?
I brought my ita.
Mm.
I bring my ita and I bring my palo de muerto. Because when he gives it to me, he gives it to me broken. I knew that it had a crack. It's one of those que tiene como un palito frente. It's just que tenía dos caras. De eso. Okay.
Yeah.
So he did an abo right before we got married, but both of our sticks are tied together and they both fed together. And now I'm finding out that should have never happened, ever, ever, ever. But
It kind of sounds like he was trying to tie you down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like it would have to me.
Yeah,
The
word.
bad kind.
so when he gives it back to me, because he told me you don't need anything because eso va a salir. And that's when he that's when I see the babalaos. So I bring the ita, I bring el palo de muerto. And he didn't ask for the ita, but yo no hago caso, but I brought it anyway. And I'm glad I did because then that's when we start passing the information around. And you could tell that they've worked together for a long time because they were like talking with their eyeballs.
A lot of these.
I'm like,
Like,
not even you're doing too much expression. They were just eyeballs.
Mm.
And I didn't understand the why. So it was afterwards that I see a child of Oshun. You know who you are, Tata. And he did me the kindness. We sat side by side. He brings out his Ita book. We go page by page. He goes, this is why they were freaking out. And now he explains it to me, and I'm like, so what the hell do you have? Because I have this. He goes, yeah, mamita, you don't have OCHA. This is nowhere near completo. Nowhere near completo. And so he sat down to explain it to me because to this day, mind you, I've written other people's, but I never thought that mine could be wrong because I never was able to talk about that or see it or anything.
Okay. So you were incorrectly crowned.
I was not crowned.
You was not crowned.
Yeah.
Wow.
so just to get this straight, so you realized that you were not crowned at all at what point in time?
That's when I sit with the four babalaos because
That's
that was what that reading was for.
okay.
Gotcha.
So ahí fue donde estamos investigando, my cariocha. This is where I see them. Did it take you to the river? Yes. Tell me about that. Da, 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 da. Who took you? Da, 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 da. What happened first? What do you remember? Da, 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 da. Diran. Okay, she's telling the truth. Okay, next set of questions. So I've been through.
Oh, so it was like an
Wow, it was like an-
interrogation.
yeah.
They had to figure things out.
Wow.
For
Okay.
one, they had to see if anything could be salvaged.
That's interesting to me,
That's
right
super
there.
interesting
I'm like,
right
okay.
there. Yeah, like yeah, that's pretty good.
So go ahead. I'll let you talk. I'll let you talk.
So heading into this this conversation with the Babalaos, did you have like any type of suspicion or idea at all about
It's
your own
50-50 at this point. It's 50 yes or 50 no.
before going in? That's how you
Yeah,
were
it's
thinking.
50-50. So I am crowned or I'm not crowned.
Gotcha.
So if I am crowned, they were thinking maybe, if you get received cuchillo, that could help you. But if you're not, you're not.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing to save. So that's why I said that it got to the point that they were just like, yeah, she's telling the truth. Like there wasn't gonna be that more, 4 or 5 questions and throw again. It was just like you can't lie when you're on the mat. And you could if you want to, but there are little odons that the diviner will get.
Yeah,
They're like,
that's how
"¿Qué te
they-
está mintiendo?"
That's how they- yeah, it's gonna come
Yeah, no, absolutely.
out. You can't
That's like
give
the
it
other day
all
when
up.
we was doing the reading, and it was like, the answer is no, but listen to the patakia. I'm like,
Yeah.
it starts to make sense. So, wow. So at this point in time, you basically
So now another rug gets pulled under. So think about it. It's one after the other, man. So first my husband, then my house, one of my children. Then there's my livelihood because I'm broke at this point because he now refuses to pay anything for his house while she's with him. But I have to pay for that and the one that I'm renting. So now this. It was just one rug after the other.
It's like your world was falling on you.
No, my world had
It's
disappeared,
destroyed, yeah.
fell apart. Like there was no eating, there was no sleeping. It was my life fell apart. What do? You're no longer the wife. Your job is going to shit because you can't think straight, you can't eat, you can't sleep, you can't function. You can't tell the kids that you're getting divorced, but in the meantime, you know it's coming.
You are a very, very strong individual. I can only imagine how powerful you will be once everything is aligned and set.
Yeah.
Because like what you went
Yeah.
through mentally,
Yeah, I don't know
like,
about all that.
the psychological battlefield that you had, like, you really got broken down and you survived that. And I just want to commend you for that.
Yes.
No,
But
absolutely.
I can't do that by myself. I'm telling you, I wouldn't be standing
No, it doesn't matter if you by yourself or not. You know why?
with Ego. I'm
I'm gonna tell you right
telling
now.
you.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
I don't think that we could do things by ourselves.
Yeah,
We
of
always have to
course.
have a team
But
of people pushing
you
to do the
still have to
best.
put one foot in front of the other. It's still
Yes.
up to you to get up and walk around and do all these things. You know what I mean? So you got to give yourself some credibility. It's not to say that you did it by yourself, but you still did it.
Yes.
Pero no lo hice solita. I've had some
Mhm.
friends that, because, okay, so let me backtrack. In the egg bay, I was the bitch. I'm I'm a bitch. That's why nobody likes me. I'm too rough. I'm too this. I'm too that. I'm too loud. I'm too much. And then when I leave, it's almost like the deconstruction and then reconstruction of a human who was basically a shell. Because now everything that I loved was wrong. And I'm now like, wait a second, maybe it's not. Maybe it's not. Maybe I think I might deserve a breath of life. And you see that, and you see that I'm very funny and outgoing now. But a year ago, if I were to get a text from him, I was literally going through a panic attack. I was so scared. And you're fearing of your life because of the spiritual, because of him, because he's so strong, because they're so powerful, and maybe I was wrong. So you're going through some stuff. You're going through some stuff, and you question your breath, whether you even deserve it.
Mm. You went through a lot.
Well, you
Mm.
deserve your breath.
Yes, you do.
For the record, everybody deserves a breath. I just
Yeah.
want to put that out there.
I want to say something, right? You see how you were saying how everybody thought you were too loud, you were too much, right? And I feel like I want to say this for other people out there, right? Just because you're in an area and everybody like it's like you're not fitting in to everyone, that doesn't mean that you're uh not enough. Maybe the area that you are in is not enough for you. You know what I'm saying? Like you shouldn't have to dim your light. Maybe you got to find somewhere else to shine because you're outshining where you are, and everybody's hating that, and they're trying to turn you against yourself. Because 10 people, 9 people are the same, and you're different. You're thinking you're wrong.
Correct.
You could be the better one than the other nine. You get what I'm saying? So I feel like people should value themselves a lot more and not allow that pressure from people on the outside to try to question themselves on the inside. Because
Actually,
you could be powerful than everybody else around you.
because I go through the same thing. People are like, they don't like me because I'm strong,
Yeah.
outspoken. But the beautiful thing is that once you get to that stage, people gonna look at you different.
Mhm.
Because I want a godmother like you, strong. They're gonna guide me the right direction.
Yeah.
You don't
That's what
want a
I like.
godmother like me,
That's
because
what
if
I
you get
like.
a godmother like me, my weapon of choice will be una pala.
That's
So
mine.
we can bury the
Taking it
bodies.
back to the 80s.
Una pala, the shovel, baby.
Ask people any questions.
Like, I just need to know, where can we safely bury the bodies? I think also that people want to get initiated to Orisha, and I understand the allure, man. Like, I get it. Vamos ahí. We're gonna save up for Cariocha, but before you get there, or even during, you're gonna see that it is actually an internal journey,
Okay.
because a challenge that may be yours
Gotcha.
may not be yours, may not be yours, may not be yours, but might be mine. So maybe we might share in that challenge. But to you, it's all easy, and we're struggling so hard. And we need to understand that that's each other's struggle. But just because your struggle is different than mine doesn't make you lesser than me.
Absolutely.
Okay.
But that's the things that you have to learn, that we're okay. Let's say that you're very good at, playing the shekere, but you're very good at playing the bell. You're never going to do the shekere, but you're going to do your bell. So you have to honor this thing that you have, and you have to nurture it. And if people don't, then there's that issue. But I didn't believe I could. because I shouldn't. So it's not about being in a place where you're outshining, because remember, I chose my family and my family is what I wanted. So I needed to fit to my family because this is where I wanted to be. So I was having issues before, but it was just little things I didn't agree with. Little things. But he was the elder and she was the elder. And like I'm finding out things even on the Egungun side. So as you know, Egungun is the
It's like their way of practicing egu, essentially.
basically, but it's
Yeah.
just slightly different. And
And stronger. Mm.
mm,
Mm, yeah.
it depends. Like if it's for you, it's for you. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? But now I'm talking to people in that. So we broke down my initiation into Egungun too. We broke it from day one, day two, day
She went to Oyotunji.
close, 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 close. But we went through it, and then now we know, like, wait a second, so this doesn't done right in a gungun either. And I because I met somebody from that lineage that we're supposed to be. So I'm like, I got some questions for you. So I was like, so this, that. And so we're going through it based on the lineage we're supposed to be born from. So now I'm starting to see the world differently. So si hay mucha tapadera, I have an issue with that.
Yes.
At least in the Orisha side. I understand that there's like palo is more secretive. I get that. I get all of that. But at least here, si hay mucho de esto, why don't you want me to see this? Like, what is it that you're hiding? So now that's I'm constantly very cautious to see. So if it's only like you and your grupito of two other people, I'm
Mm.
gonna be
Mm.
questioning that now. So the red flags to me is what I once thought was a good thing. Because this was the way it was sold to us is we're being very protective of you to keep you safe from the crazy Lukumis out there, or the crazy these or the crazy the others. So we thought that we were very safe, and then we weren't.
Like those were the
So
crazies.
No, yeah, those were the crazies. He was in the loony bin.
yeah.
So just to be clear, so they practice what is sheshe?
So it started with Isheshe, but when he was crowned Lukumi, and I'm just using that for the conversation because Orisha already said there's no crown there. But by the way, that started with Ifa, that reading. Like, yeah, and yeah. So then it turned into Lukumi.
Mm.
So Isheshe is the Egungun aspect. Ifa, he practices Ifa Isheshe. But the story is still that he basically initiated himself with Irma. And now that I'm in touch with so many babalaos, I'm like, you don't need to tell me what happened, but I need to know this. And they were telling me, no, there's no way they could have done this on their own. They would need this, the other, and the other, which I'm not going to mention because I don't want a fake one to be created when it's not there. So, and that's another thing, that everything here has a hierarchy, but it is still particular to you. So you're Santeria, but this is yours, and that's just for you, but not for her. But you're still here. So it's a very personal religion, but it's not.
It's not. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the advice will be personal,
Mhm.
but you're still together. But if it's just the same,
It used to be. It used to be a long time ago. Now it's different because now everybody just talk about everything free. They don't care. But it used to be very secretive.
The ceremonies.
I
Yeah.
think I'm talking more about the ceremonies, that if it's the same tregato, I have a
No, that's
problem
a
with that.
problem. Of
So
course it
this is
is.
what I'm saying, that this is why I have a
Of
problem.
course.
So if you're all from different houses, I would love to have people at a particular ceremony because this is what I was told. I was told, Baba Hippie, this is all you. He goes, this is the standard. Okay, so this is the standard. This is the standard. But in that house, you pour the coffee first. In that house, you pour the sugar first. Do you still have coffee? because there is the standard, which is going to have cafe, leche, y azúcar.
Yeah.
But if you start doing other things, but you're not allowed to see, you're not going to know what was done wrong. So there is the standard, there is the like, the little differences, but you need to know what the standard is. So when you're in a place that is just them, that is your standard now.
Mhm.
And I did pick up some really good habits, like a good work ethic, but I think it was just a little too much, which I've had to talk to many other priests about how we were raised in the religion versus what is. And I think also what I'm discovering is that if I don't like you, I'm like, I don't like her. It's not that I don't like her. I don't like something about me that I see in her. But what is it? I don't know what it is that I don't like, but I don't like her. I don't know.
I like that.
But you know what it
I
is?
like that a lot.
I
You like
that?
So I'm finding that this is more than just getting initiated. This is about really figuring out who, what you are. And I'm still not there, but I'm happy. I'm finding stuff that I didn't know or forgotten about, stuff like that.
That's beautiful.
I still like you, by the way, but you were just right across from me. Just saying.
I take it personal.
So you had a actually you had a question, right? You guys had a question?
Yeah, I'm
Wanna say it at
scared.
the end?
Ellos como que me
No,
están
we're
guardando
not, I'm not
una.
at the end yet.
Oh,
We ain't
no,
done
I
yet.
meant like for the end of the
What?
story.
What advice would you give others who are like in similar predicaments as you?
Run. No,
Where they feel like it's too late to like back out.
First of all, it's never too late. That's one.
Check.
Two, keep a written account. Keep a video blog. Hide that shit somewhere because you're going to need it. And I'm going to tell you why. Wait, I'm going to tell you why. There are videos that I have which I never, ever, ever thought I was going to ever. And usually I say the thing is so that I can remember. You're going to see some, you've already seen some videos so that I can remember because you may need to remember where you're at. So I do have a couple of things, but people are not going to like what I'm about to say. Number one, you got to pray to your egons, even if you don't really believe, even if you haven't seen
Check.
them work for you, even though you got to pray to them that they're going to put you in where you need to be. And you got to trust that. And that's hard when you're in the middle of shit and you can't see past the smell.
Ache.
So, but you got to pray that your egons are going to play the right strings and put you in the right place so that you're where you need to be. Mira, you got to have that faith, man, because I have, there were many times that my faith disappeared.
Let me add on real quick. Having faith in your egos is also having faith in yourself.
No.
Yes and no, because you're not the same entity. You are not your gitana, let's say. You're not your madama. You are not your India. You're you. This is so. There's the Baba that I absolutely love and adore, and he's like, "Esta cabrona nunca se casó," because I doubt anything that comes to me. Because I was told que tú no puedes ver ni un plato, puedes decir ni un vaso de agua or un vaso de leche or something like that. So you doubt yourself. And then an ego comes down and tells me, "What are you?" And I'm like, "Oh, fuck, it's one of those cryptic. And no matter what the answer is wrong. And
Sounds
so
like my neighbor.
basically, right? So at the end, she goes, "But you are a spirit that is housed in that body, right?" I said, "Yes, yes, ma'am." So that means that you are a spiritualist. I never want to hear you say that again. I was like,
Yeah.
doubt. You doubt. So think about it. You are your spirit that is housed in this shell. You are your spirit. So you have to listen to spirit because that's you. I'm still coping with
But that's
that.
that's really what I was referring to though when I say about believing in your egos is also believing in yourself because your egos speak to you. To you. Whether they show
Correct.
you
And that's the
images or whether they
thing.
whisper in your ear, they talk to you in your dreams, and you see things and you feel things. And how many times we're always like, "Am I bugging or
Mm-hmm.
am I right or is that because of a past experience?" Right? Like I just don't like that person. You know what I'm saying? Like it's hard to differentiate your egos telling you something from you
And that's
and
what
your
they're
own
trying to tell
paranoia.
me. So back to you. The advice is try your best to have your foundation because there were red flags over the years. But I did not think that I should listen to that because remember, I make bad choices. I have a good ori and I need to get better. And so that can't be true. That soy yo, tú sabes, the erroneous me. That's why I can't get it together. Don't worry, I'm going to work harder and I'm going to make it better. I'm going to be better. I'm going to be better. So in response to you. You have to be attuned. And when people come in here, a lot of them are not. This is why we do a lot of baños and rogations in the beginning.
Mhm.
Why do you think in the beginning, well, rogation here, rogation there? Because they have to clear the gunk so you can think. If I would have really listened, I would not be here. I would be somewhere else y ya yo hubiera mandado todo el mundo para la mierda. But I didn't. You understand? You have to listen. And Orisha tells you that you matter. They love us so much that they still here. They probably don't need to be here. There are probably other planets that their citizens listen a lot more than us. Apparently, we're not. We're jerks. So they think that we're all right. They accept you, even though you like to say shit, fuck down. Even though you like to drink your wine at night. They still like you. They still want to be there for you. This has been, I haven't even quite fully pegged on everything because I'm still literally walking through it. And you have to understand you're not your mistakes, but you went through
Ache.
something. So you got to listen with your whole body. If something feels wrong, sometimes you have a muerto or una muerta and they're trying to bug you and you feel the whatever and it's them trying to tell you in a way that you can listen. But I was not ready. I mean, I didn't know I had anybody. So you got to
I
listen.
felt that in my
Yeah.
core.
Did you really? I'm
Oh, yeah.
scared.
That's why I'm like, girl.
Now, this is
It got
I
deep,
like
right?
this. This
It got deep.
That's
It got
beautiful,
deep.
though. We
real
like
deep,
that.
real
Shut
deep.
me up real quick.
Look at her. Like, you sure? Maybe you should have prepared me with questions. They don't give you questions here.
No, we
Just
don't.
come ready to talk.
Yes.
Hey, no, that's the best way. We're not scripted here, guys. This is the raw deal here. You're
I'm
getting the real raw
scared. I'm
deal.
scared.
So now we know, right? Just to bring it back real quick a little bit, right? Because I want to go back real fast. So you went through to try to investigate your initiation.
Something
You
like that.
realize, I guess the first red flag was that initial reading with a ligua, right? It was kind of like, oh, you need to check this out because something's up. That's like that first, like, okay, something's going on here. I'm not sure what, but something.
So that
Then,
happened in March.
okay,
In June is when I get that. But what you don't know is what happened in the interim. Because I'm just thinking, Yemaya needs to be fed. Maybe I need to bring her down. Stuff like that, right?
okay.
I haven't done this. I haven't done the other. What happens is people's muertos be talking. Porque ellos son chismosos. So if you talk to spiritualists, they're like, mira, there's something wrong with her pots. There's something wrong with this. Damn it. Have you been to the read? So they were pushing it because I wasn't rushing into that. I really thought it was just going to be bring her down. We haven't read her caracoles in a long time. Maybe she needs a chivo. Who knows what else? Oh, long story about the chivo. Maybe she needs a whatever. Like I thought it was going to be that. So I wasn't rushing. But now I'm talking to people They're like, there's something going on with your ocha. There was a particular, person who told me, I see terrenes. They're the same terrenes, but when I close my eyes, it's different contents. Like, what's going on? So it was a it was like, you said you were gonna go check your ocha, go check your ocha, go check
Yeah.
your ocha, but we didn't know why. So yeah, and then we go there. I find out there's no ocha, but you see, it was like a push to.
Yeah, it was
To
like
go, yeah.
along the way you tried to kind of avoid what they were saying, but either way, Egun came and was like, "Yo,
She didn't
you
want to
need
believe it.
you need to do what you need to
I
do
mean,
here."
why would you?
Yeah.
You do want to add somebody.
Mhm.
Let me tell you something, real quick. That's the craziest thing, right? Like she just said, you join out somebody. So now you have to face the reality. I don't have Ocha, but not only do I not have Ocha, I participated in doing Ocha wrong to other people. So now you get a sense of I feel liable because I would feel like, damn, I kind of feel liable because I'm like I participated in this and now this is done wrong and it's not your fault, but you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, what do I do now?
Yeah.
Because we know there's stories of individuals who did not have OCHA done in the Bronx
For so many
and
years.
for
For
many
so many
years,
years.
and then they had to go back,
We
do
know.
OCHA,
Correct.
and correct some of these people's
Hmm.
OCHA, you know? So,
But that's the
No.
deal. What happened here? Oh, go ahead.
No, 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 go ahead.
There is, mira cómo son las cosas. I went there to find out if I had ocha, right? So they tell me I have no ocha. I'm not freaking out. When I start really feeling it is, I remember, John doesn't have ocha. That's my son. Oh my God, Oriomi doesn't have ocha. Oh my God, what about so and so? That's when that hit me because my son didn't have it. I start freaking out. And the guy that I drew on the ad. But they're still in the egg bin. They really do believe that what I'm saying is wrong. But I'm sorry. I got this from Orisha's mouth. I'm good.
Mhm.
Like Orisha came down on people I didn't know. They, when I say I got it from Orisha's mouth, Orisha's mouth.
what were we going to
So
say, Jay?
she kind of answered my question, but I was just gonna ask, like, ever since you found your voice and you spoke about your situation, has other people came forth with their?
Yes, all the time.
Beautiful.
All the time. But Orisha wisdom has changed its stance now. So back in the day, this was mostly in direction from my husband, and I kind of saw this, so I'm not going to fully blame him. Um, that I didn't want to refer anybody because I didn't want to be liable for what happened with you and this priest or you and that priestess, right? But I realized that that's not the way that we should proceed because if somebody's coming to you for help, they need help.
That's
So
Absolutely.
true.
now I'm starting to gather a group of real priests in all of their venues because sometimes stuff needs to be fixed and
Sure.
repaired or started or whatever. And some of the experiences that I hear, like I'm thinking I'm alone.
Not
You're
at
not
all.
No,
alone.
it's, listen, let me tell you something. Since we've started El Igualito, you know how many people have reached out and
Yeah.
come and say, I need help, I need to fix something, I need this, or I need that. I mean, I literally go to different states.
You know how many people came forward saying that they were scammed?
Oh
Oh
yeah.
yeah, no,
You
not
know
to
how
mention
many? You know
that.
how many people
Yeah.
got mutilated?
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Oh yes.
I believe it.
Okay.
We have one of our guys here that went to do things with Ifa, and they took his money and then never given nothing. They whatever he got.
It's
So
it's
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 sad.
it's
it's sad.
It's
sad
very
It's
sad.
sad.
and it's crazy that it happens, but it really does happen. You know, and now,
And because of those people is why the newcomers think, not even the newcomers, the outsiders think that we're full of shit.
yeah.
Because of those people, them scammers.
Yeah.
And not only that, but now we, the real priests that are actually trying to help people and trying to do things, it's like we have to work twice as hard because no one wants to believe, right?
Yeah.
You know, I heard some. Check this out. This is just so you could get a little perspective on how some people think.
Check it, check it.
It's the
So
finger.
I go. I'm not gonna disclose where I went. I went to a location to do a scratching, and an individual there said, "Yeah, I was told that the best brujos or whatever, like the best, people that do work are the most expensive ones. And if you don't charge me this amount or a certain amount, then that means your magic is no
Your
good."
magic is no
Yes.
good.
Yes.
The more I
Now,
pay, the better.
Yes.
so I'm scratching my head and I'm like, and how much you pay? And what? But I don't charge that.
So I guess I gotta take
You
your
know?
price.
So does
But
that mean I need to just charge you more so you can think that it's better? I'm like, what? That doesn't even make
Those
any
are people who
sense.
believe quantity over quality.
yes, and those are the same people
And
that got parent comes and they use them.
and yes, and this is so you can get a little perspective on how some people think, and it's crazy because you go and you see, oh, Daviaga, he has the most books and this, and he's the best because he has this.
So I have, if I may,
No, of course.
I like the fact that people like to get the best of the best, which is fine. I think that's great. But somebody put it to this perspective. So this is for all the new people. When you're choosing someone, are you going to choose the godfather who has 500 godchildren and doesn't have time for you?
Yo, talk about it.
What about somebody who's going to charge you 5,000 for the same item of 1,000? Maybe what you need is somebody que es un poquito más humilde that's over here. But if you have a problem and you call this person, they're going to answer your call. And it's still going to take you to point B. Maybe he's not the top tier,
Actually,
but you still, let's say it's like attending college. Yeah,
actually.
you attended Harvard, but you didn't do a goddamn thing with it. Or you attended the regular CUNY and now you're doing whatever, whatever. So the whole point is what you
Ache.
need.
Actually.
And I think that is true. We do let ourselves, get glammed up by the glitz of the famous one. And maybe you do not belong there,
Actually.
or they don't belong with you. So when it comes to the people now, I'm like, si yo te llamo, you better call me back within a day. Because if I'm not worthy enough for you, then you're not for me either.
Actually.
Gotcha. I like that.
And
like that
I'm
a
always
lot.
I'm always talking about that right there because I like my quality, not quantity. I want to be able to have a godparent that I'm going to be able to go and he could teach me. Not a person that, oh, I'm busy. I can do this day or this day. And that's what I don't like. Us right here, we had the time. We work 365 days out of the year, 7 days out of the week,
Plus, you're a
25,
vacation
8,
mom.
every day.
25
Plus, you're a
hours, 8 days a
mom.
week.
You're a
Yeah,
mom. You're a
25.
You guys
wife.
have
You
a
got
Yes.
the
hustle
godchildren.
Yes.
culture.
Después la espiritualidad, lo espiritismo, you have to deal with that. And if you're into palo, then you have to deal with that. Then I'm sure you got families and friends. And it's like,
But then you have, you invest your money on this person that, oh, he's very popular in the TV. He's here, there, and there, but he don't got the time for me.
then why is that good for you?
Exactly. So that's what I tell people. You have to choose wisely. That's where my question is going to go after he finish
Ay, Dios
his
mío.
thing. Because that's where my questions go right there.
Oh,
So,
boy.
just so we could get perspective on how some people think. Like I was really like baffled, but I was like, what?
What do you mean?
Well, the whole if they don't charge more, then they're not good. Like so, if I charge less, that means I'm not as good.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't even. That was like crazy to me.
But think about it like this. That's where this person is at. So if you look at the Batakis, there are Orishas who had to learn lessons so that they can accept worth
Che.
and knowledge. So think about it. There was a Bataki recently where we were studying this Bataki, and it's an Ogun one. In this version, um, Oshun had sex with Shango, and Ogun came out in this version of this
Mhm.
Bataki. So Oshun was very vain. Oshun would not talk to you unless you were the highest, the hottest, the most, whoever. Like if you were not that guy, she wasn't talking to you. She had to learn about quality. She had to learn about humility, and that, the glitz and the whatever doesn't mean that it's the most money is not the best. So maybe that person has to learn about quality. Doesn't necessarily mean this, but that is that person's journey. So maybe they'll take them to the cleaners for a few times until he figures it out.
No, yeah, definitely. I just,
If not, charge him
I,
$5,000 for a reading.
you know what my thing is.
Diantre,
¡Qué
well, that kind of thing.
abusadora!
I need
Maybe they
a
respect me then,
massage
right?
therapist.
I'm gonna bring the. I'm gonna bring. I'm not gonna give you a reading. I'm gonna bring the muerto to do it for
I'm
you.
gonna bring him down on demand. You hear me? Ready? 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 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Tomasa, buenas noches.
¡Ya llegó!
Ya llegó. Ya llegó.
Buenas
Buenas
noches,
noches.
Moisés.
Is that wait? Is she going through a whole Oda Mae Brown situation?
Yes.
You know, so like again, I just that was crazy to me. And the thing with me and this religion, right? This practice is that I know I can charge a lot more money. I know that. But at the end of the day, this is something of like humility. Like, I feel like, it's a service, yes. So I'm getting paid for service, but there's one thing to get paid for service. There's another thing to abuse, and I'm gonna elaborate on
Gotcha.
that. I'm gonna elaborate on that. An example, just a quick example. You go and you do your mayaje, let's just say it's $10,000, $12,000, right? Give me an example.
That's a lot.
You go to no, I'm just giving you an example though.
I'm just
I'm
saying.
putting it in perspective right now. You go to Florida, you go to Texas, you go to California, they're charging you $25,000.
A down payment for a house.
Now, you tell me, is that right?
I'm gonna answer this. It is for whoever it is for. What if I'm one of those people that don't value it unless I'm paying? That's perfect for me. Because then yo le voy a poner the
El
weight
precio.
that is necessary because that's what I value.
It sounds like before we do crownings, we need to be like, what is your income? What is your YTV?
I need the W
After
two.
taxes. After
Yo,
taxes,
give me the
okay?
W-2 form.
Ah.
How much?
Quality, huh?
100,000 a
Alright, so
year,
Louis,
$20,000 right now.
And then you stay 7 days here, and then 7 days I gotta take a vacation. So I gotta make sure that I'm gonna
Tu
charge you
ve.
for what I'm gonna go that 7 days because I spend my time with you.
But
That's what
some
happens.
people don't appreciate it.
No.
And
Yeah,
so
but
this is an issue that I also think we're having. One, not everything should be free. I do agree with that.
Yes.
But I think that there is, yeah, I did hear about a notion that was 25,000. I don't understand how, but okay.
so
Mhm.
so you just hit something
Te
right
pongo
now,
un
right?
calabazas.
You said not
Mucho calabaza.
25
We gotta pump
calabasas.
it here,
25,
guys.
you hear me? You hit something though right now, and I wanna go back. I want to touch on it. They don't appreciate, right? Maybe this is not for them.
No, but this is the road they
Because
have to figure out.
the problem now is that everybody just wants to crown everyone when
Yeah.
this is something that's not for them. Maybe it's not
Agree.
the time. You get what I'm saying? They're so caught up in I'm gonna get this money, and then in the end, they don't do anything with their rishas. They don't do anything with anything. They don't follow any of the rules. They don't do anything. And guess what? You damage the tradition that way.
Yep.
Because now it is a style. Now it's not I believe in it and this is a way of life. Now it's like I'm a santero too. What you talking
Yeah,
about?
but
I
now,
got Orishas and I got brujeria and everything with me too.
yeah, but now that guy kid gonna appreciate that one they charging $25,000, and then I'm gonna appreciate you that you're coming humble. That's the problem. Now everybody's gonna do this, getting crowned because this is like a college degree. Now nobody's doing it like before. Like the way that I see my religion, it saved my life because I was sick. You know, now just because he's crowned, so now I gotta get crowned because he got crowned before me. Now I gotta do it. This is like a that kind of degree. I'm gonna go and work with that degree. I'm a santero. It's like we always say, tú puedes ser santero, pero no religioso. And that's what people fail. It's not how much money you pay for the orisha. It's the faith and the ashe that the people are putting in your head. Because I could show you whatever. But if my hands is not good to make sure that your head's going to change, we're not going nowhere. Me quedo con 25,000 pesos, cojo un down payment por una casa y voy por ahí.
Mhm. Very true.
I can see that. I can see that.
Yeah,
I don't know. I just see she's passionate.
I
It helped
am.
her with her health. It helped me in a lot of other ways. Finding myself. So I'm passionate in that way as well. I do feel that everyone needs to be saved, right? If they want the saving, you know what I
Not
mean?
everybody to be safe. I'm sorry.
But that's
Mm-mm.
just again, that's my
That's
personal
yours.
opinion.
That's
My
yours.
personal
Of course,
opinion.
it's
It's not a
yours.
debate. You know, I feel
It's
that
yours.
everybody deserves to be saved if they want to. You know, and how does it look? I mean, I can't necessarily say how it should look because everybody kind of differs, and it's a little different. But if you come, with good intent, a clear heart, and a clear mind, and willing to change, I feel that you're worthy of that. Because I'm very big on
Nah,
redemption. I'm
everybody
sorry, that's
comes.
me.
Everybody that comes to the religion, right? Oh, I'm talking about the new one, right? Everybody comes to the religion for one purpose and one purpose only. Once that purpose is met, probably all that thing changed. Although I coming here with humbling myself,
Mhm.
it changed to a cocky person.
Yeah,
Now
you don't
because I got
understand the
crowned,
lifelong
now
commitment.
everything is going the way that they want. But we got people that meant to be here with us. Are people that coming over here just because we're gonna teach them to do something? Or just people that full of shit.
Ache.
Here's something that I wish I could claim as my own, but it ain't. It's other much smarter people than me. So, to my little big brother, he said this. I think it was him, and if it's not, I'm sorry. Don't kill me. We come here to do different things, but sometimes we have to be okay with just planting the seed because somebody else is going to reap that reward. But you have to do your job, whatever your job is, whether it is to plant the seed, to water the seed, to put the soil on the seed. But you may not be the person to receive that reward. But that is how it works. There were some egg ones that did a lot of stuff before, but we are, you know what I mean? We're the ones reaping the reward that we can actually go outside and they're not going to shoot us because we're walking or we're doing this religion. So, like I said, there's just some things that I hope to see in my lifetime, but I don't know. Sometimes I lose faith in humanity. Sometimes it comes back.
This is where you
It's
gotta
back.
go.
Ache.
That's like the old no,
Facts.
I
Well,
can't remember what it is. I want to say it's about a chick where I could be wrong, guys. Don't kill me if I'm wrong, but it said like you plant the seed and then your neighbors reaping the rewards. The
oh, the one with the
calabaza.
calabaza
Yeah,
thingy.
yeah, yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know
yeah.
which one is it. But I know that you plant the seed of the calabaza and the neighbors don't want to see
The
the
one that's
fruits.
actually getting that's actually getting the
Hmm.
rewards for the hard work you did throughout the
But
year.
that's so my big brother said this one that I do remember. He spoke about that specific pataki. And sometimes we have to be okay because what if it was in our destiny to plant that seed so that you may have? Because maybe at some point you didn't have it at that time, and that is blessings that's coming to you because it works in different ways that sometimes it's confusing and mind-boggling because you think you're walking this path but the spiritual is doing other things to weave it all together, and this is stuff we don't understand because we're just too busy with our little world, but we
Yes.
don't know what's going on. It's crazy, and I feel like this has been a learning thing,
Mhm.
but some of those lessons hurt.
Yes, it does. But you know what?
Oh
I
yeah.
love it. The
Yeah.
They
satisfaction just that
always
you
do.
that you give that blessing to someone. I
Yes.
just love it. No matter if you pay me right or wrong, I just love it because it was in me to come here to save someone. Either you stay here, or you don't stay here. I know that you're always gonna remember me because I put that faith in you. That little chain.
Pero todo eso junto, that works together. And sometimes, so this is a message for the people who don't have somebody or who are struggling to find somebody or to struggle. Tú tienes que rezar. You have to pray that the world is going to give you exactly what you need, what you signed up for in heaven.
Ache.
And that's hard because you may want to be with the fancy, Olua, but that's not where you're going to shine. You're going to shine in this little place who's still going to leave it open for you. Let's say you have to do whatever it is, they're going to help you, they're going to nurture you. Uno tiene que apreciar, but you need to be open. You need to ask for the help and be open to receiving it. And that's hard.
Yo, y'all see those gems that she's dropping? Y'all need to
Prakatam,
pick them
boom,
up. Pick
boom,
up them
boom.
gems.
Snatch them, get them.
This is where you gotta give him Louis a little
Like
class.
Arula
Ping,
did.
ping.
He was going after. He was going at what was it? It was a Pataki. He was going after all the weapons.
Yeah,
He was going. He's like, I don't want the money. I don't want this. He's like, give me the weapons. Give me the weapons. You know what I'm saying? Because you know what? Everybody paid double.
Yeah.
Everybody paid double because they needed them because they needed to protect themselves. You know. So
Oh boy.
um,
I'm getting the look of something's
I'm
coming.
just waiting because I
Ay,
got. I think I'm
bendito.
gonna. I think this is
so
the time for my question, right? Because
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like she keep
so
talking about it. And you could. You just got me going around. Like, what is your problem?
I'm just because it's a good story.
You're
So
just
I just
dragging
want to try.
yourself.
All right.
Jesus Christ.
So we're gonna fast forward in a moment,
Oh
right?
boy, I'm
Real quick.
scared.
I am picking up
So
my bullets.
I just wanna real quick.
You are going quick.
Give me like
You,
5 minutes, real quick, right?
Jesus.
So
I already crunched somebody in the corner.
so you were losing your
Yeah.
husband. You get a reading. You realize they were telling you to investigate. Things happen in the interim. Egun's talking. You come in front of the Babalaos. That's when you really start to realize, like, oh my God, I don't have Ocha done. And all while all this is going on, because I know part of your story, there were like things that were happening with the egg bear. You got summoned because you had breached protocol or broke protocol. Um, so now this is all happening at the same time, or was this like the divorce led up to all the other things because of you breaking protocol, and then the divorce came?
Okay, so I got written up last year. I'm sorry, my bad. Um, 2021. That's 2 years ago. Ay, bendito sea. I've had other write ups, but this one fucked me up. This, I think, was the precursor of everything that happened last year. So in 2021, I am summoned and I felt blindsided. Blindsided. I am because what they do is that they read your charges. So they charged you. So I was charged with plagiarism. And what did I plagiarize? That I went to my podcast. It's there. I think it's episode 56, if I'm not, si me recuerdo bien. It has to do with forgiveness because it happened just like that. Because I have issues with my mom that are just like that. And I'm like, how am I going to link forgiveness to talk about it? I want to share about that. Right in front of me was the 16 principles of Ifa that a Babalao ordered from me, and I translated it to English. So there's the popular version and the version that he wanted. He gave me his version verbatim, but I worked with him with the colors, the font, because I am going to make this en grande for him. So I said, oh my God, I'm going to do it with the 16 principles of Ifa. And that's true because my husband taught a class like a year or so ago. So yeah, it's like talking about, I think this is how I'm going to link forgiveness with that. That's what I got charged with. And my thing was, but wait a second. So if you're a pastor and you're talking about the 10 commandments because you spoke about the 10 commandments, I can't talk about it.
That's a point, isn't it?
So of course I lost. I had as much proof as I thought was enough, but it wasn't. So it was between him, my godmother, and the other lady, Omiara. So Marilyn, and between three, because he didn't vote, but he had a lot to say. And after that, I was already not happy with the Egbe because I felt blindsided, blindsided by what had happened. And he says that I think I'm better or above than everybody else. Like, you think that you shouldn't get a write up because you're my wife. So, what I'm finding out now is, first of all, there is a problem when the Iya of the house is not the wife of the Baba. That should have been a big clue for me, but I didn't see it that way. My thing was, that's a lot of responsibility. You want it? Take it. Totally take it. I'm okay with that. You know what I mean? Like, you could be the E. Yeah, I'm okay. So what I'm finding out, that's not true at all. So if you're doing stuff, she is automatically the ella punto end of story. There's just no other discussion. Then I'm finding out other
Oh, I
stuff.
think he got it clear here.
Are you sure?
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, for sure.
Oh,
Si
yes.
mira, si tú tienes cualquier cosa,
No,
tú
no,
me
no.
llamas que yo tengo un shovel.
No,
Pero allá en la
yo
bodega.
le,
My
yo le
God.
sueno una maraca de Maya rapidito.
Oh,
No.
mira, nosotros tenemos que hablar de los esbozos de ella, because me mandaron uno, which is why I got written up again, and I got summoned again because of an esbozo de ella. But anyhow, so there were a lot of things that were happening. And I think Egon was doing their thing to place certain things because I wasn't ready to see. And you couldn't talk to me bad about my husband either because I would shut it down because I'm loyal.
Mhm.
So if I'm with you, I'm with you.
Until we die, baby.
So it's like that's it.
Until we die.
Pero I don't think anybody, male or women, it doesn't matter. You do not deserve that if you're not willing to give it. And I was willing to give it.
Ah, che.
So, y cuando eso sale, not just en IFA, pero en los caracoles, en una misa, everywhere, they're like, tú entregaste todo lo what you had, todo tu corazoncito. And Ifa said, you're not an innocent, porque tanta tú no eres, pero in this you are. I'm like, what the God? Porque tanta tú no eres. I was like, oh, I'm offended. Like, just soy una angelita. Like, what the fuck? But they said, in this you are. So there were a lot of things, but it's looking back that I'm starting to see,
This is what
this is
happened.
why. Shit. That. And it's interesting when things are told to you that you never spoke about. So there was a particular ego who comes down on her person and she tells me, why do you think that you like stop talking bad about yourself? Because inner talk, mine sucks. And she says, you you don't know who you are when you even allowed him to walk in front of you and to eat before you. Now, eso yo no le había dicho a nadie. Nobody knew that unless you were in our egg bay, that he for many years walked in front of me. Supposedly that was the African way. So now that I talk to John McCoy, who really does go to Nigeria, like he has receipts of all of this, he's like, those women don't do that shit over there. They will kill their husbands. Their husbands are afraid of them. They're like, those women don't play. They're like, he created his world based on what you thought
Mm.
was right. You see what I mean? So he did. For many years, he walked ahead of me because supposedly the men protects the women and he eats before. So if we were starving, we had to wait until he finished eating because everything transferred over. So it wasn't just like spiritual was spiritual and religion was religion. You laugh, but this was my
I'm not looking at her.
reality.
It's
No,
not
I'm not
happening
laughing
here.
at it. I'm laughing at the fact that, oh my God.
But
There's
this is
people
what I
out there
mean.
in this world like that. You know what I
And
mean?
so now that I'm talking about it, I talked to my babalao. I was like,
What?
shit, those women will grab a fucking
What?
orgy.
What is that? Narcissism?
Narcissism.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's narcissism 101 OD.
Papi, we work side by side,
Don't
honey.
do that. Don't do that
No,
because
no,
she'll kill
no.
you.
We work side by side, papi. I'm loyal to you hasta que yo me
Hey.
muera y después de muerta.
Oh,
I'm
shit.
Soy
gonna,
Te
tu
eat
ego.
first.
jodiste.
I'm gonna eat first. You hear me?
I'm gonna feed.
I
I'm gonna
already
put
got
the
my
food on the
plate.
table first. I'm gonna give you the fork when I sit down.
I can't. Yo voy a estar pesando problemas en este matrimonio.
Yeah, right?
You heard that? I'm gonna serve you first. I'm giving you a fork when I sit down. Then we both eat
Tú me
together.
esperas a mí. Tú me
Espera, papi,
Tú
esperas.
ves.
pasa.
So now that little issue that transpired with the egg and all that, did that leave up? Did that lead up to your divorce? Like, was that really like? I mean, I'm sure you had like other matrimonial problems possibly, right? But was that like a main factor of him like saying, "Hey, I'm divorcing you because you're breaking rules and you did this against the grain," or like how, like I'm
Oh my
just trying to
God.
understand that.
First of all, you say going against the grain. I don't care. This is your show. I'm gonna hurt you for a long time.
Okay. Edit that. Edit that.
Right, papa. So okay, um, his reason was that he couldn't handle it anymore because he tried, and I was not living up to my expectations that he expected of me, and he was tired of trying. That was his reason.
Yo, he just fumbled a submissive woman. I just want to let that.
Yo, facts. That's
let
so
that be
crazy.
known.
I want to find one like you. Where can I find one?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Where
right. In Venezuela, in
I'm
Venezuela.
gonna, I'm gonna tell mommy that she just found her daughter-in-law here.
Yo, you getting props out here. Ivon, you
I
getting
just
props.
want you to
One of a
know,
kind.
I used to like you until 30 seconds ago. You know what it is que una mujer cuando se enamora is the same as a man you love in a certain way. And I do agree with you. I think that there is a point that you cannot
I want to hear this.
sell yourself short in any way. You cannot make any
Hache.
concessions. And I think that's what happened. That little by little, there were so many things. That's okay. I won't. I don't really need this. I could deal without it. Or that's okay. He's just having a bad day. Or that's okay. I just need to be better. Like you have to kind of delete that. Not that you don't need to get better. I think we all need to get better every single day. If I'm a little better today than what I was yesterday, I've done great. Pero una persona que te tire por el suelo has to be a no. It's just that in response to your question, it was all mixed together. And I think that looking back, the resilient side of me, there was something that was wrong. Just didn't know what it was, but it was wrong. I was not happy as I should have been. And he's like, tú vives en un mundo de fantasía. Like he used to like criticize that. Like I believe in romance.
I do. Me too.
And he's like, no, tú ves mucha película de eso. That's not real. What's real is that I'm here and this is what's real. And now I'm starting to see other people and other people's couples, their relationships. And no, I was right. You could have it,
Of course.
but I didn't think you
That's the
could
best part
during
of
that
it.
time.
That was the best
That's
part of it.
mental manipulation. Number one thing a narcissistic person does.
I don't know about all that because I'm not a psychologist. Went through. I know that. So there were a lot of things, not just the egg best situation. Because remember, it was very intertwined. I mean, think about it. People coming to your house, there are bows being done. ¿Tú me entiendes? Life is going to happen around the spirituality, which I did not mind at all. I don't mind my significant other to do his own thing. Do your thing. I'll take care of the kids. You handle that as it should be. Pero I was told that I abused him. Mind you, that's not what's come out over and over and over because I thought I was bad. I really did. And even though Muertos came out, Ifaz talking about it, Leg was talking about it, Orisha's mouths are literally I bembes. It was something very hard. But now looking back, there is a reason why you are in this, and it's to grow. So for me, I felt like I was nothing. And even in the beginning, I remember being on the bus home, BX41, going back home, and I called my girlfriend and I said, "Oh my God, he is so cute." But a guy like him would never be interested in a girl like me. That was number one. So I was already ready for that. So I was the perfect person for this. And I thought I was intelligent, but intelligence goes out the window when you love somebody and you can't forget yourself no more. So I feel bad if a person wants to step to me or try to talk to me or try to whatever, because God forbid tú me critiquen algo because you're going para carajo like that. Like, what? You criticize? Do you pay bills here? Absolutely not. Mofo, get out.
but I believe in romance. I believe on love at the first sight. I believe on all that little thing, you know?
But you got to find somebody who still agrees with that.
Yes. Yes.
Like, okay, so even though we're joking about the cuteness of relationships, it's finding somebody who is going to nurture that and not make fun of it. So, what I've learned, which is something that you got to listen to. Si tú ves a una persona hablando mal de otra, pay attention because it may not be you today. But if they're talking about this santero, about this person, you're next at some
Don't
point.
that sound like something I said last
Mhm.
podcast?
Pay attention. People are like, I can't find a godparent. Be around that godparent that you're considering. You should be the first one there and the last one to leave. Pay attention because when they put their feet up to do it and they start with their yappity yappity, ahí es donde tú los conoces. You got to pay attention. If they're talking bad about somebody, they're going to talk bad about you. You're next. I know because I'm dead. I look good for that girl.
That man walking.
Right? That woman.
That woman walking.
Deuces.
I'm telling you.
You
So
gonna haunt them tonight?
Huh?
You gonna go haunt them tonight?
I ain't gonna call nobody, honey. I'm too busy doing this. I'm too busy doing this to care. And besides, I gotta drive, a trek and a half home. No viven aquí en la bunda.
so okay. So now situation with Ebe, the divorce comes, or the ask for the divorce. You realize I don't have Ocha. Now I have to go get Ocha, or see what's going on with my Ocha. You realize, okay, there's a problem here. Now I definitely need to go and do Ocha at this point in time, right? Um, then what happens? Like what happens after all of this, right? You realize you don't have Ocha. You got the paperwork, or I don't know. I'm
Yeah,
assuming
but
you got
hold
the
on a minute, because I'm
paperwork.
still here. I know the whole story. I know everything, but I'm still a little bit confused. In what point he decide or you decide to get Osha done, and then he do whatever he did? In what point you got crowned? In what point? In what point?
Fake crown?
Yeah.
My faux crown. I got crowned in 2011. It was time, ya.
So he
Just like
decided
that.
one day. He said, "Okay, you're gonna get
So what
crowned."
happened was he did himself one year, which was 2009. It's the year we got married. 2010 was Irma, right hand man, and 2011 was me.
So now, do his crown is valid or okay?
So the whole whatever lay they got going on is fake.
Correct.
Scammers! Darn you, scammers! Yo, I'm standing on that.
But here's the you may laugh about it, but even if I spoke clearly, but
Big
they
karma
believe their
scammers.
own lies. So he believes this is real. So Omolade Olafemi by he did have Ocha for real. He was crowned Obatala con Oya. He crowns him. But the way that it was crowned, again, there was no Oba present. He was the only priest that was present because Irma was there, which she shouldn't have been because she was not um, an Olorisha at that time. Latifi Baye, he died, but he was an Aborisha at that time. So between los cuatro, they make an Alegba. That can't be. So ahí está el fundamento and what happened, why that's not legit. Now, no matter what, I don't care what he says, there's no Ajubona. So there's no Ajubona for him. Only one priest was there. There was no Oba. There was none of that. And the dates were all changed. And again, I don't want to hear that I'm being called a liar because I have plenty of receipts on that. So the way that that started basically started the line that way. So Irma, who's made second, she's not legitimate. I'm the third. I'm not legitimate. Then we call them the veggies. So my son and his uncle get made as Ibejis de Chango a la misma vez. So they're both like, so you understand the whole line. And I think, and I'm going to say this, which is going to be really interesting. And no, I don't have any loving feelings towards him, but I will say que él tenía mucho H and it was such a waste. It just should have been done the right way. Like he can make beautiful things for the Orishas. He sings with his heart. He does a lot of things that could be done, but if you would have gotten the H, it's like you being a great doctor that but you got raw talent but you don't go to school, you're
Yeah.
still
Yeah.
not a doctor.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think that if you just do the right thing, even if you're just good at one thing, that's the thing you have a chef for, then you do that one thing. I just think that that was a waste. It's just a waste of money, waste of time. And I didn't think it would be me when they're telling you, Orumi la está diciendo aquí que tú tienes que contar la historia. And I'm like, it's not something you want to do. You want to be known for creating moon shoes or something, right? Whatever, cool stuff. Like, this is not cool. But at the end of the day, I'm not the only one who has spent thousands of dollars.
No, you're not.
And
A lot of
people
people.
are still doing it. People are doing sexual favors for things. People are doing all kinds of stuff. So the stories that I get, I'm sure, are quite interesting to the ones you get.
Yes, that is true.
Yeah, there's definitely some stories to be told. It's a lot. It's a
You
lot. It really is a lot.
you gonna go to your next question or should I ask
Yeah,
mine?
no, no.
Because my goodness,
I mean, I was
Jesus.
you went like somewhere to the left. I was on a track, but so we're gonna go back.
I'm scared.
So going back. So now again, egg bed problems happen. The divorce papers are in order or whatever it's submitted out. I mean, I'm not sure at this point in time, right? You get asked for the divorce, you get the reading, you realize there's a situation going on, but you're still kind of not listening. Egun comes and basically is like, yo, wake up because there's a problem here. You go before the Baba allows, and then you start realizing that, yeah, we got a major problem here. What happens next?
So you have a choice at that point. And I knew that there was going to be a particular question that was going to be asked, but I thought I was ready for the question. And the question was, Babala was on the mat and he taps me. He goes, before he throws, he taps me. He's like, ¿Qué tú haces? And I thought about it. I said, yeah, I think I know what I'm going to do. He goes, you sure? Because once they cast, they start casting the direction. Tú me entiendes that you're going to go to. So the question was, what are you going to do before he casts? And I thought about it, but it was the long 30 seconds. And why I said it was long, because I thought I had an answer until that time. And I said, well, let me think about this.
We said the right thing.
And the question was, what are you going to do? And I knew what that was. ¿Qué tú haces en la religión? Like, are you going? Because at this point, nobody would blame me if I want to be a hallelujah or whatever. Nobody would blame me. And I thought about it and I said, well, I'm willing to come back to the foot of Arisha if Arisha will have me. That was my response.
Strength.
That was not strength because I was crying y temblando ahí como una chicken.
That's still strength.
So
You know how many people would have turned their backs on that?
I couldn't.
Strength.
It's just I couldn't because you don't know the things that were happening around. So Egon's happening. Egon is happening. Santeros are coming out to help me where I didn't know. Santeros are like, you need to talk to this one. You need to talk to that one. It started moving very fast to get me to see because I couldn't see. I just thought we were going to feed in Yamayam Tango or something. Honestly, that's what I thought. Feed, maybe wash, refeed the lagoons again. Like maybe that's what I thought it was. So that was my response. That happens in June. That happens before I have to leave. And that was my response. And that's when I realized, oh shit, I have to do this all over. But maybe not. And my whole thing was, maybe I don't have to do Ocha because at this point, maybe I don't have to.
I have a question.
Yeah.
You had to wear white for a whole year?
Yes. In
Oh
seven
wow.
days, I would have to do it all over.
Wow.
Yep.
That was like a. Mm-mm. And
Yeah.
he's still where? Is he? He's still where? His house.
So that's the answer.
Okay. So now at this point, I guess from that moment to now is pretty much where you came out with your story, right? That's I guess the
That's the
beginning.
beginning of when the story, because so in June, ahí es donde Oromila sale with you need to go tell your story. So what I wanted to do is to cut it up into like many little episodes of the podcast, and that's it. But I decided, you know what, I might as well go big or go home.
What he did when you did you confront him and tell him?
Nope.
Did he ever watch your podcast?
Oh yes, I've heard there've been meetings about me. Lots of matanzas y animales. Oh yeah, I think they follow me a lot.
Did anybody leave that house?
No,
That's
Nobody has
crazy.
That
come
is
out.
like a scam interpretation.
No, that's
No,
a cult.
bad.
no
That is a
one, no
cult.
one
Yeah,
has
so-
come out.
I
That is
said
literally
that.
a cult.
only one, but that can't happen anytime soon. It just can't. But nobody else has. But you have to understand, you're made to sign documents. So I cannot talk to you about anything that happens in the egg bay.
That's a contract.
Major red flag.
That's a
Mm.
It's an
NDA.
NDA.
Yeah, that's an
Crazy.
It
NDA.
is an NDA, but it didn't start like that. The rules we knew were there, but the document didn't come out until 2020, where you had to sign. But this last year was the first year that I was made to sign because I'm like, I created the documents, but 2022 is when I'm made to sign it because I didn't agree with it all the way, but I'm his wife, so I had to.
You're an accomplice.
I am, and but I was always going against the grain. I didn't agree with some things. I really didn't. Some things I did. Some things I think were very visionary, which is again why I'm saying that if he would have done things the right way, maybe it would have been guided properly because some ideas are very good. Um, but now that I'm talking to other santeros, like, let me, mira, ¿cómo es que ustedes hacen esto? Why is it that this, or that? Or why is it that the other? And I'm starting to get better answers instead of just, this is why we do it this way. But now there's audience that back up. Now I understand why, for example, people, there's staggered work at an OCHA.
Mhm.
Because for us, we have to work from the moment we get there until the point that you're dropping from exhaustion. Like you cannot be not doing something. That's a no for us. And so now that I'm going to an event, I'm like, wait a second, why are they sitting down? Lazy motherfucker.
Mhm.
No, pero es que el trabajo de él es esto. So they're waiting for their turn and then they're waiting for
Mhm.
their turn. But we didn't know what that was because it was just us all the time.
Yeah, you
So we
did it.
didn't
You did it, Sam.
understand that there's help.
Yes,
And I'm like, oh,
it's a teamwork, you know.
oh no, no, we just had to work all the time, a lot.
Wow. Shit, we be struggling with all the help we got.
Yeah, right. I feel like we always have a full house, and we still be going to it. So that's at the beginning of Ivon is Reborn, right? Or Ivon Reborn. That series. So that's that time. I guess that time skip, right? We're gonna call it a time skip.
That's timestamp.
A time stamp. But isn't it a time skip technically? Because we're talking about it from then to now.
I mean, kind of. You time skipping to now.
Yeah. So
They're getting technical.
And we about to
Now-
have technical difficulties.
We can start debating about timestamps and skips.
so now you come out with the episode a year ago. That is the beginning of what you're currently going through now. So at this point in time, I mean, you already kind of answered a couple of questions. So they talk about you. They've done things against you. Are you still married?
We're still married. He refuses to sign.
So after he said he wanted a divorce, he don't want to sign the
Oh
divorce
no,
papers.
he had his attorney, which he doesn't pay for, by the way. It's lovely. I'm still flabbergasted by it. And they filed for an extension, and I'm like, extension for what? Just sign the goddamn document. Just say you don't want to marry me. I'm okay with it. Please divorce me. Like, please just sign. And then he didn't show up for the extension. So I think it's on Monday. I just found that out. On Monday, they're going to talk about it in court. And I'm like, just sign the goddamn document. Just sign it. So I'm still married.
So you're still married.
That's narcissism.
You're
Heavy.
yo, it's crazy, right? It's ridiculous. You're going to court. Do you have any communication? You have a son, you said, right?
We only talk through text, maybe email. We definitely do not, because he started saying, for example, that he said things to me that never happened. Like when he told me that we had this extensive conversation that he was going to move my son John to another school. I didn't know. I I found out the first day of school that he had changed him without my consent. So because that happened where we had an extensive conversation, I'm like, when the fuck did that happen? But I do have a backup for that. I do have proof that that didn't happen. But the point is that he would do things like that. So now everything is on text or email. There will never be a conversation.
So you never get. So you never even get to talk to your son.
John Jr. Oh no, he'll text me and it's not very nice, but I am paying money for him every month because John doesn't work, and in paper he is fully disabled, but he can obviously do things. But yeah, I pay for a child that does not speak to me. Yeah, it's great.
Wow.
That's crazy. So now, house is gone, husband's gone, child doesn't want to talk to you. So I'm guessing in some shape or form you've had to move on, right? So I mean, you got your own place now. You still do have your job. You said you've been there for years, right? So right now we're just, I guess right now you're working through it at this point in time, right?
Basically, porque no me
Okay.
queda otra. No
All
me
right,
queda
Aisha.
otra.
So we're caught up. Now you can ask your questions.
Oh,
Finally, it's your turn.
oh crap.
So
I
now,
thought I was
right?
good.
Now that you have gone through all this experience and you have faced so many challenges in your life, what do you tell those people out there looking for a God parent, looking for a good Yubona? What to look?
Okay.
What questions to ask?
First of all, I tell people don't jump in blindly. The internet only gives you a piece. And your internet piece will be different than yours, than yours, than yours, than mine.
That's it.
Because maybe you found your godmother in the bodega. Maybe you found them in school. Maybe you were born into this. You don't matter. Somebody else. They're referring to you. Suerte. But you see what I mean? But here's a couple of things. One, I think you need to understand what is their responsibility as a godparent to you. You need to know what that is. You can't expect to be abused and that to be okay. But you don't know what abuse is either, then you need to really listen. That's number one. Two, you need to understand that this is going to cost money. Like it or not, it just is.
Big moolah.
EJAC. It's going to cost. But now let's get into, we kind of touched on it. Be always available, participate in as many of the godparents that you are considering. Try to attend as many things as you can. You should be the first one there and the last one to leave. Because, not because you're being so nice, although you will come across as being so nice and helpful, but that's not why. Because I want you to see, I want them to start getting so comfortable that they'll literally tirarse un peo. Once they do that, you know you in the house.
Comfortable.
Once that peo comes in, you're good. But seriously, it's more of when they get very, very comfortable, you're gonna start seeing certain things. It's
True
like the
colors.
dating is over. Now you get to start seeing all the bad breath in the morning and all the farts and all that stuff. That's when you start noticing. So if este te empieza a hablar de ellos todo all the time, and that's their favorite, that's his favorite, then you know that he's willing to do that with somebody else. If they're always, este nunca sabe nada, este nunca sabe nada, este nunca sabe nada, pay attention. Keep watching. Time is going to tell you because there were a lot of red flags that I saw, but I didn't even know they were red flags. So here's another one. How long do they have with their godchildren? Are they all gone? That's got to tell you something. So if they can't hold on to godchildren, are you really thinking you're going to be that special? That you're going to do it all and you're going to hold them all together?
Many people do. Many
Oh
people
yeah.
do.
Oh yes.
We women do that all the time. We want to, change our men and make them better and all that good. No. So the things that you don't like. So if let's say that she yells, I'm coming to her. Ella grita, but I can deal with somebody that yells, right? That's gonna work for me. But este tú muy calladito, I can't. That makes me feel uncomfortable. Then you gotta learn. You gotta know who you are. So if you
I
like a
think she got a
person
Martha
who's
talking to
real,
her.
oh really? Oh, she not liking me no more.
No, because it's true. Because I prefer to get a gap and they're gonna not scream at me, but talk to me, with
Direct.
instructor like that direct. They're gonna guide me to the right path. Not this quiet one. They just want my money and it's not gonna guide me or it's not gonna
But
teach
that's what
me.
you need. So
You
you
know?
got to know who you are. And that's what I mean. You got to know who you are. Like there's somebody, like let's say you're the kind of person, oh, this is round. And the reason why it's round is because of whatever. You might need that.
Mm.
Some people like, this is round and we put it there. The end. That's enough. You got to know who you are and what you're willing to accept and how you learn and how you communicate. So if it's a person, if you communicate through text and this person won't only will just call you, are you okay with that?
Mm.
What what's your learning style? W- you got to know this. I can't tell you what your learning style is. You got to know you.
Yeah.
So I could deal with this. Ese temperamento que ella tiene, I can't, bendito, ella candela, I can't do it, I can't do it. Then I know that I can't. And I don't make that decision. And you go with someone and you tell your egos. That's what I keep saying. Everything goes back to ego, man. Mira, you might be able to see this better than I do.
But I think if you see that and you be like, you know what, maybe she's doing it because she want the best for me.
Maybe.
But maybe it's because her ego is up there. I got a very strong personality, a very
No, you don't
strong,
say.
a very, a very strong personality.
I'm
And I
shocked.
always said it. I always tell everybody that knows me, you're gonna love me at the beginning, you're gonna hate me at the end because not everything is pink. I'm gonna guide you. I'm gonna talk to you strong. But everybody that knows me is because I want the best for my god kids,
Pero
one way or
that
the
works for
other.
a person. So if you know this about her, right? Pero tú necesitas una persona que es a little more explica, gentle and whatever. Maybe this is not the right way. You understand? But you got to know who you are. And that's the thing. You have to know what's okay with you
Yeah,
and
but
what's
I'm
not.
not always like that. I'm like the first time I'm telling you nice thing. The second one, the third one, it might come like a little tone. And then the fourth one, when I have to go to the fourth one, then it's gonna come out. That's the thing.
Oh, shit. Keep the chanclas away from her and shit. So the point is, you should be around so that you can know whether that person is for you or
Yes.
not. No matter what, it
Yes.
just leads back. You got to be there to see si esta persona va a ser bien para mí. Because also, you might like, I'm type A, but maybe I don't need a type A. Maybe I need to mellow out. So maybe I
So
need
so
something
you're
else.
saying that picking a godparent is like dating? Like
It's like
we
marriage.
gotta date you like for 6 months, a year, just to see
You should.
if we are
Yeah, 'cause
here.
I agree with
after
that.
that, you're
You
stuck
should.
forever.
Maybe I think that she
Listen,
she married you like for what, for so many years.
I always say it's like chemistry. You know what I mean? Like you have to really feel the chemistry, whether or not. Okay, it's on the godparents and too, right? It's like, can I really deal with this individual? You
Yes.
know what I mean? Because sometimes much, right? Or they're just not enough. Like, are you just not motivated enough for me? Because now I just feel like I'm like wasting my time at this point, right?
Yeah.
Because I feel like we all, at the end of the day, like as far as me as a godparent, it's like I want to see all my god kids strive some shape, form, or way. Whether it's you're playing the drum, you're a singer, you got a chef for misas, like I want you to exceed in something. You know what I mean? And I'll take the time to try to figure it out. But you have to also want to do that, right? Because I'm not very hold your hand and do it. You know what I mean? Like if you're here with me, I'll be like, yo, I got something to do today, and you come
Pero,
with me here, I'll put you to work. But
You
I'm not
gotta be
gonna be like,
here.
all right, let's go.
pero el problema es, todavía it goes back. La persona tiene que hacer el esfuerzo to be there, to see if you're going to be a good fit. It is like dating. It's a form, basically you're choosing.
Yes.
It I think that to the act of choosing a godparent, that's a time that you actually get to pick a parent. Yes, pay attention. Because you get to pick this one, like here,
Hmm. Yeah, I totally agree.
consciously.
Totally agree.
So if this is how you are, they have to be around to see it. But what I ask people is also to take a look como él le habla to all the other, or her, all the other godchildren, especially the ones that maybe are not doing that great. Pay attention, because that could be you. Y tú no tienes que tener miedo. And I think that whoever gets me, ay bendito, we should do misas just for them. Shit, just to elevate their existing souls. Because now it's different. Like now I'm like, oh, we're not doing that shit. That's not happening here no more. But you have to be around
Yeah.
to see. It's energetic, it's seen, but you want to see the worst. And then you got to see if that's something you could deal with, and be
Mhm.
very brutally honest. Brutally
You see,
honest.
so the way that I am, I'm not gonna change it. Okay?
That's fun.
Coño.
Well, I am
Mira,
I'm not gonna
mira,
change it
ya va a
either.
sacar la chancleta. Fucking shit, yo me salgo de
I
aquí.
think
I
it's
know where
think-
my
I
car is. That's all I
I
know.
think that's why we get along so much because we're very honest with each other.
Yeah, and I think that to be a godparent,
So then why shame me?
I think that to be a godparent, you have to have every your mom, a dad, a doctor, psychology, a counselor, everything. And if I'm gonna get all this package on this godparent that's gonna be humble, I'm gonna be loyal to that godparent. And now godparents and Jubona, they take it for granted.
Agreed.
They take it for granted. And we are here giving you my own, like, we just
I
a hundred.
okay, I think that people don't understand the responsibility of a godparent. And I think that that's why there's a big disconnect on that type of respect. So if I choose you, Pokemon godparent, and I choose you as my godparent, there should be many conversations prior, before Plato Coco Vela is brought in,
Gotcha.
on what do you expect from me. Please lay it all out. This is what is it that you are expected to give me? What is your role with me? What is it that you expect me from you, like to you, like during your ocha? Do I have to be here? What do I have to give you beforehand? Do you do something, like what is it you need to know? But what people don't understand is what they do in the background.
Yeah, but you know what? You do that because we do that here. And sometimes it's not like just people got just selected memories because you could tell them anything that you want and anything that you expect for them. But when that moment comes, they forget about everything.
You never told me that. Nah,
And,
you
Yeah,
told
you-
me
well,
and
that.
I'm glad that you said that word expectation because our next podcast that we're
I
gonna
was
do,
you.
we are gonna do that because remember since last week I wanted to
Yeah.
speak about it. And
We
he's
literally were
like,
Mira,
talking
they're
about
gonna
this.
curse me out in your house. They're
You see,
like, is
baby?
that
Yo,
bitch
no,
who went
you
over
perfect.
there?
You
Now
took
we
my
got
train of thought, 'cause
expectations.
I was literally gonna say that. By the way,
But
that's
this
gonna
is
be
fun.
on one of our next podcasts. Is
Yeah.
expectations of a
Tu
godparent
ves,
but
and
this
like
is why
expectations of a
this is why we
godchild.
together because we are like
We
it's
connect.
50
We
50
tu
now.
connect.
ves,
You know
tu
what I'm
ves.
saying? We
Get
paint
a
the road
room.
together. You
Yeah,
know.
You're not
mm, mm,
beautiful.
mm.
I know, I love it.
I'm getting my certificate tonight.
Mira para allá.
That's beautiful.
So, lastly, I will say that a lot of people don't understand the things that the godparents have to do in the back end. They have to do sometimes extra readings. A veces salen cosas para los ahijados. Sometimes the muerto could be like, oh shit, now I gotta call this godchild because el muerto vino, dijo esto y el otro y el otro. Now I gotta go find that out if that's true. Ahora yo tengo que tirar los caracoles, pero yo tengo que trabajar and my wife is not feeling good. Like life happens, but there's another back that they don't understand. See, I know a lot of godparents and I hear and I see what they do for their godchildren. And I think that that's one of the other questions. Like, what is on the other side? There's a lot of fucking work. That's what's on the other
It
side.
is. She used to
A
complain. She
whole
used to
lot of
complain
work.
a lot. She used to say, "You never got time. You always doing something with the religion. You always doing this and that. You forget about us, birthdays and anniversary." And I'm like, one day when you come to this side over here,
Now forget that. You gotta learn balance
well,
because
no,
your
yeah,
family matters too.
yeah, of course. Now we learning that little by little, because when we pick that role of godparents, we don't come with instructions. We grow with that. So now we know how to balance. Now it's like family, God kids. We had to go through a lot of things to value that. You
No,
understand?
it's
We lost,
yourself, family, God.
yes, but we lost a lot because we used to be like, you know what? The religion.
Yeah,
I
girl,
got
you
kids.
almost lost me and all the kids. We was about to pack a bag. We were like, yo, we out. Forget
But
them.
then we
We
lost a
It
lot
is
of.
like that.
life alone.
But then we
Víctima
realized.
millennials. ¿Tú estás oyendo?
We
Then,
don't need them. We
Millennials no
got ourselves.
aguantan, whiny babies.
but then we realized that you know what? It's true. We always do this thing for our God kids, and they don't value what we're doing.
You know
They don't
what's the
value the
craziest
time.
part of that? That every single person that she left us in the back for are not there with her now.
And that those people teach me that
Lesson learned.
now.
Drop mic.
But now those people teach me that now I gotta pick you first before I pick them, because you know what? They took me for granted, and now I'm giving you the time that you wanted it because of them.
Yeah, I need a refund, guys, because she put a lot of time into y'all, and I want that now. We need a refund
Look at Yvonne's eyes. She's like, oh God.
right now. I
I'm
want
just
my
mapping
money
out where
and I
my
want
car
it
is.
now.
Got your escape route ready.
So
I
you
do.
get so for those people that sometimes take everything for granted, sometimes you know what, you have to be first, second, and third, your family, and then the God is gonna come. Because you know what? At the end of the day, you put so much time on this religion, you put so much time in your God kids, and they don't know the value. They don't know what you are giving up for them. Sometimes, oh, I'm gonna come, Madrina, to give you to get a hair irrigation, but that's to you 5 o'clock, and it's 5:30. You're not here. Now you're taking the time for my kids because I'm here waiting for you. They don't know that. Me now is time management. If you give me the time, I give you the time. Call me when you need me. I don't get on personal people life as a position or godparent. Me as a godmother, I don't get on my god kid's personal life. Your personal life is your personal life. I'm gonna be here as your guidance for your religion for here. Whatever is going on with your husband or whatever, I could listen to you, but I'm not gonna say, because then you're gonna fix the problem. Then I'm gonna look grown, and then things gonna go sideways.
Oh yeah, we definitely been down that road plenty of times.
Yeah. So definitely next podcast is expectations.
Yeah, I like that. I like that topic.
Oh boy.
And that don't mean that because I'm your godparent, I'm gonna go bail you out for in jail because you just got into trouble in a drumming. That don't. I'm
Why
just saying.
not? What kind of godmother are you? Okay, don't pick her because she ain't taking you out of jail.
I'm not a bail bond.
That's just messed up, girl. I'm not coming to this house. No,
I
because you
won't.
getting me out of jail for me having a pala in my car.
I won't. I won't pay the bill, but I'll do the brujeria to get you out.
Yes.
Get you out.
Okay,
Right
wait.
there.
At
Yes.
4 in the morning. What? Oh man, hold on. Oh yeah. Salam alaikum, alaikum salam.
No, because you got those guys that call you because they have problems, right? So now you're telling them, listen, my God, my son, my godson, my goddaughter, don't do this. It's all the way to do things in life. Now they're not listening to you. They still go and go do whatever they want. Now you expecting for us to come and get you out of jail because you just wanted to do this? No, I'm gonna go to the ganga to wherever I gotta call all the esencia to get you out, but I would not bail you out. That is your problem because I help you. I told you not. There's so many expectations from got parents to
Oh,
got kids
she's
and
enjoying
got
this.
kids to got
Look, you
parents.
see her? She's like in her element.
Oh
That's
yeah.
what she said also.
This is the part one right here.
Diantre. They're like
I
godmothers.
girl. I got
You
I
better
go.
love and adore me. Damn it. And this is what I do for you. If not, te va a quedar la cárcel. She said it, not me. I'm just here.
I said it.
Oh my god.
My word is golden.
So,
Any-
uh,
Hmm.
no, I was gonna say any more questions for Yvonne? Do we got
Any
any?
final questions? No. She's asked them. She's asked them all.
You sure? I thought you were ready for me. Chicky Poo, come on. We
Yeah,
was
Mama Rose,
ready.
you answered pretty much majority of them.
They had me all scared.
So now, after everything that you went through and everything that you had going, and I guess va a pasar y va a seguir pasando. Now, do you feel comfortable now picking up good godparents to begin your journey as a santera, as a real santera, as a real
I mean, a
oricha?
real one? A
Yeah,
real,
real one.
real one?
I'm a real
I'm a real
boy.
Santera. You know, I've been saying that for months. I'm a real girl. Because everybody's like the voice. But that's it.
No, I ask you because I saw you when you was on YouTube, and I saw you when you was on your video. Though your way, your face, you look very sad. Now it's like I see the sparkle, like I see
Bro,
that.
you look
Yeah,
very
It's the
it's
lively.
good.
lashes.
No, it's
Tu
not the
velo
lashes.
lashes.
It's like
She's got the glow.
you got the glow. You got
She's
the
got
glow.
Eso se llama
glow.
maquillaje.
Little
Eso
shim
se llama
girl, you know,
Ulta.
put a
You
little
could
shim
tell.
on there.
You could tell like the depressed mode that you was on that moment because it's a lot for you. But now I could see the difference. I could see you optimistic. Now you're confident. Now I'm gonna eat that world. They belong to me and they took away from me. I'm coming back. That's the attitude that I see on you now, and I love it.
I
You're
say
the
thank
hero
you.
in the story.
I,
Because there's this saying that they say.
what?
Oh, it's hard
Go
to
ahead,
say.
say it.
What-
The
what-
hero and the villain. The hero and the villain, bro. Come on, come
You're
on.
the
You
Say
got
it,
it.
say it,
hero in
say
the
it.
story.
So the hero and the villain have a similar story. They just go about it in different
I
ways.
heard that this week.
The villain gets
Mm.
hurt and says, "I'm gonna hurt the world back." The hero gets hurt and says, "I'm gonna make sure that the world doesn't hurt anybody else the way that I was hurt again."
You're the hero.
You're the hero. You're the victor, not the victim.
I like that. I'll take Victor. I'll take Victor. I think that I think that aspect is very uncomfortable for me still because honestly, I don't think I'd be standing if Egon wouldn't have stepped in. And I say that because I didn't think I was going to make it like my life. Like I thought my heart was going to give out. Like for real. Like not sadness, like dying. And I know I hear your words and I'm very grateful, but there's some others that they're in the exact same spot that I was and
Yep.
they don't talk and they're quiet and they're sufriendo eso
Yeah,
solito.
but that's what you are here for. Because then they're gonna look up to you like, if she did it, I could do it.
Well, I always say this, you know, this is not easy. I'm not
No, it's
going to
not.
tell you that it was because it's not. Trust in whatever spiritual, as little as it is. Trust me, that's all you need. It's all you need. And you tell them, you should see some of the prayers that I've made. They have not been pretty. You better tell me, like, you better take me to where I need to go because this, I can't fucking do this anymore. That was like end of prayer.
And the prayer.
The end.
Tien, Padre Nuestro. Shit, man. Like, do something. But you have to have faith that things are happening. Another thing I will say, don't keep quiet, even if you have to start with a therapist because of the whole, you know, you don't want to say. But once you start talking, figure out what your role was into getting into that. Because if I would have had a strong sense of self worth, we wouldn't be talking because it wouldn't have happened. But because I didn't have myself together, I became the perfect prey. And so you have to work on yourself. And I've said this over and over. You really got to establish a strong foundation for your spirituality. If you know that your great grandmother had una muertita that did whatever, then you tag on to that one. Somebody's going to connect you to what you need to connect to.
That's right, Che.
You do that for people who are going through anything. Find out if that's right. Because if something in you is telling you que algo no está bien, you need to pay attention to that. And many times we shut ourselves off because I know I did. So I'm telling you this from experience, but I'm the one that's wrong. So maybe that's just me. I'm just gonna, yeah, I need to follow because I'm a bad person and I need to get better. That's why I'm here. So maybe the question should be, mira, Legua, I don't have you, but I know you're there and you're everywhere. So show me the door of where I need to go.
Gotcha.
Aquí está unos dulcecitos para Legua, aquí están tres pennies, aquí
No
está
coquito, no
whatever.
coquito.
Whatever. You know, he likes whatever.
So is it safe to say that you have a boa up in your crib?
No, you think? Shoot, even my little one has one. Little.
That's where everything starts.
That's where it all starts.
Yo lo pongo. Sometimes I find him in it. And I'm like, ¿qué tú estás haciendo? Once I see him con una velita, I'm like, okay, bye.
Do your thing.
Bye. So yeah, bóveda important.
Absolutely.
And if you don't, so here's another tidbit for people. There are some people that they stop, like freeze because they want to do everything perfect. To you, I say, you have to embrace your imperfect imperfections because they're perfectly imperfect. It's fine.
That's me.
That's right. We've heard that around
You
here
hear that?
often.
You hear that?
That is
It don't
me.
have to be perfect.
Mira, está lo lente. Yo no puedo con él. Estoy high fashion over here. So start. So when I started, I didn't have a bell. Fuck it. We knock until I got a bell. You know what I mean? Todos los vasitos no estaban juntos. Fuck it. The point is que tú lo estás lavando con fe, con un poco de holy water or whatever else. And it doesn't matter. You start, man. You start wherever you're at. You start. You think that you just need to be praying in front of a pulpit? Absolutely not. I'm like in a carro, mira, tú sabes, yo no sé qué, yo no sé cuánto. People must think I'm crazy. And do I care? Absolutely not. So, yes, it's safe to say I have a little bubble.
Good, good.
Just say.
She has a new bobeda. She has a lot of. She's going to the right path.
Yeah,
You know.
it's good.
So it's safe to say that you are on the correct path.
I believe so. I would say this. People may feel that they may not be in the right spot. Give yourself the gift of pivoting. You're able to turn and it's totally okay. But it has to feel good to you. But you
Gotcha.
can pivot.
That's
So I think that for me, that's been a thing. I want to make the best choice from the beginning, but sometimes that's not
You
the
can.
way to go. So I think que esta religión me ha salvado life, like not like for real, like my
No,
life.
of course.
I know how you feel.
And I I've seen things that I never thought I would see. I've experienced things just in this year and a half that I feel like I'm in warp speed forward. I've never seen some things. Like nobody can tell me que los muertos are not real. No one can. Like no one fucking can.
I think we can all say that here.
Because there's some things that have
That you can explain.
but it's
But it's
there.
there.
But how can you and so when I say I'm grateful to the nice comments, but I couldn't do it without people's egos. Like somebody's ego went, mind you, they were just developing, man, which is wonderful to see.
Yeah.
And she's like, listen, my Egon is asking me, where are the notebooks? The notebooks. What notebooks? Yeah, the ones next to your bed. I'm like, that wasn't why I was shocked. I was shocked, one, because the ego knew it's not one of mine. And two, because that meant I was about to reveal something that I didn't want to. And that's why I say egons are something else. So this egon comes down asking about the notebooks that are next to my bed, which used to be my journals. But they were not there. And she's like, where are they? And I'm like, oh shit. Because my friends are present. And I'm like, well, they're not there right now. And I didn't want to say, why aren't they there? And I'm like, oh, fuck me, man. Well, because I'm not sleeping in my bed. And where are you sleeping? And I'm like, shit. Because I'm trying not to say. And the whole point was, why are you not sleeping in your own bed where your journals are? Because I was sleeping on the floor on a mattress. And the Egon said, a queen does not do that. You are the queen of that house. All of that to tell me that. But I had not told my friends that. And I had not told anybody that. So again, nadie me puede decir that the muertos are not real.
Mhm.
That was one that I was like, yeah, so where are they again? I'm like,
I know we did a misa one time here, and one of our godson was there, and the misa was for him. And you know when you're doing a misa, and the person always like, "So did this happening to you?" No. Do you got pain in your back? No.
no.
I'm good. Everything was no. Everything was no. And in one moment, I don't know why he asked, did the light turn off and it
Oh
started
no,
flickering?
I told them, I had told them about I said, I don't know, I see this person, maybe it was like a relative or something, and I started describing or whatever, and then he was kind of like, no, I don't know what you're talking about, and I think I said the name or something
Yeah,
too, right?
yeah.
I think I
I
said
don't know
the
nobody
name,
with that name.
and then he goes, and he's like, oh, I don't know what you're talking about, and then the lights start flickering, and he was like, oh my god, that's my uncle, that's my uncle.
And the light turned on. And the light was
Because
like,
he was like, I don't know if he was out of it or something, but then he like realized, like, wait a minute, what am I seeing right now? I do know what you're talking. And it was like, and the crazy part was that, so he was like, oh, that's my uncle, whatever. So then the light like flickers, it goes, right? And then I forgot what else it was that he said or something, and the light went like it was like we went in pitch black for a moment,
and then he said
and then
the
he said,
truth.
and then he said something else. I don't know if it was like something about his uncle. So I can't remember what exactly it was. And then all of a sudden, like after, because it dimmed all the way out to where we was in pitch blackness, so like it came back on.
The Where Automate Brown situation.
You know,
Mhm.
it's crazy. It's crazy.
Mhm.
Listen. I have some stories to tell.
We
I
could
got
share.
I got
We
some
could
things.
share because we got some too.
I'm telling you, some things. We're gonna have to do a round two of this, just some stories.
Oh my
Right,
god.
right.
And then you're gonna say you're gonna have to send me a helicopter or airplane. Cause I ain't coming over here. You live far.
No, we'll send you.
And yeah, at this point, yo necesito una limusina and I have to get massage as I'm coming here. Eso tiene que tener caviar. Shit.
Oh,
It was nice. It was a nice time talking to you, getting to know you. Not only because what you went through, but as a person, as a friend. You know.
Mira, remember, I'm still a bitch and I'm liked. Go figure.
Yeah, that's how
Go
that works.
figure. Deuces.
So, how can people find you? Like, where do you put your podcast at? And
I have a channel. Uh, Orisha Wisdom is the channel name, but as the creator is Ivon, Ivon underscore reborn, because Ivon got boring by itself. So I was trying to figure out, so that I'm not Omileti anymore, because think about it, my whole identity disappeared.
mm-hmm.
I didn't know what to do. So I think,
It was like identity theft.
I'm
yeah,
like,
right.
I literally, right?
What
So
platform is the channel on?
YouTube. It's definitely on YouTube. I do have the Orisha Wisdom podcast that you can find wherever your podcasts are. It's not as cool as this one because this is like you get to see it live. Just saying, but you get to hear the voice. The voice. You can find me there, and on Etsy, I have your spiritual things because Olubumi Creations had to disappear because that's no longer valid either. Like everything had to go. And I make a lot of stuff that is spiritually geared for the religion.
I'd say, right?
Yeah.
Your spiritual
Gotta look
things.
you up.
What do you have there?
That's my favorite.
Oh my God, I have mugs and art because some people have cocaine. I have ink. Some people have crack.
Hold on, we're like,
I have
what?
paint.
We all look at each other like,
Everybody-
Wait, what?
What was it again? Your spiritual things, right?
Your spiritual things. Because I didn't know what to call it. I'm like, your spiritual things.
Oh my god. That was
So I have
funny.
sayings like, for example, because I'm not that but I have, like an interesting, personality.
Oh yeah.
Never heard of it, right? So,
Oh.
I'm just so mellow. It's just hard to believe. So one of the mugs says, for example, and it's not even out there, but it's just weird. Like, wait, I'm trying to think of the correct saying. Like we can't hang if my spirits don't like you, or I'm not being antisocial. My ancestors just don't like you. Stuff
oh,
like
I
that.
mean, so if you know,
That's Jay's mug right there.
Yeah,
That's
right.
Jay
Yeah.
all the way. I'm gonna have to
everybody
get
likes
you
something
that.
different here. Everybody likes different things. So as you see, he likes his glasses. He loves his
Sí, no,
mugs.
esto está muy famoso. Yo no
Everybody got,
puedo.
yeah.
I love sweaters.
She loves sweaters. I love pens. I'm not pen.
Oh, me too. I'm a pet. Don't leave them around me.
I go to Swanger Pacific.
Yo tengo un klepto situation.
Check her out. Check her out. She,
Mira,
pressed-
mira,
she
mira.
took the pens.
I do, man. Yo no puedo. Look, I have an obsession. See?
Oh yes, I got them. yes.
Let me see that.
And-
Wait,
Yeah,
let me
I
see
got that.
pen.
Those
That doesn't
pens are
erase.
those old school feather
Yeah,
pens.
it doesn't end.
Oh.
I have.
That's dope.
I told you.
I have those.
I like
People-
that. Look, it's like the old school.
Some people
joint.
have cocaine.
Yeah.
I have ink.
I
I
got
like letters.
That's nice. How's it right?
nice.
Very
Like
nice.
a pen?
You have a pen,
fine
a paper
pen.
here.
So what you do is you put this roundish part on the top. That's how you write,
Okay.
and very slowly. Go ahead.
Slowly.
You'll see. You'll get a feel for it. That's a very fine pen. So you don't have to do pressure like you do on a regular pen. You just glide it over.
Nice.
I have issues.
No, you don't got it.
We all got issues.
I'll take issues with this. So I like brush lettering and I like art and I like,
Yeah, because I'm famous. You got my autograph.
oh, I love it.
Hang it up.
Hey, listen, you never know. I'm gonna be a politician one day, and probably a famous one, right? I keep
That-
saying this.
Yeah.
I'm about to change some things out here.
I told
right?
you I'm gonna make sure that you're a politician.
I'm gonna campaign.
You know, actually, you will. Because if a daughter of Yamaya's telling you that you are, you.
I told him.
Sure. Well, that's why. Email that sucker.
We went.
Hold on.
Let me tell you.
Wait a
This is
second.
real.
Yo tengo
One
que hacer
time-
chavo pa' ocha.
Listen, one time we was talking in the room, and I'm like, he's telling me like he loved that. I said okay. So we went and helped one of our friends. That he's a politician, Phil Ramos. And I told Phil Ramos, I said, listen, what can I do for my husband to be right there? Like he won this. He loved it. He said, let me know what he wants exactly, and I make sure he gets there. I said,
Right.
okay. So little by little, I'm trying, to get it together.
Well, of
'Cause
course
he's
he's
gonna
gonna
get
get it
there.
together because he's married to a Yamaya. Hell
He's
yeah.
gonna get there. Promise you, baby.
It's true.
Haisha, I put this message.
Yvonne Reborn. I approve that message.
Go ahead, guys. Approve the message.
This is Lily Welito Unity, and we approve this message.
There you go.
Approve it. No, he did for him.
Ay, Dios mío.
Oh, okay.
These are going to be some of the expectations for this, Ile, that you better approve that message.
Co-sign that. You hear
You're
me?
going to have to sign that in
Co-sign
blood, man.
We will.
It's like the
We're gonna take it.
mafia.
We're gonna take it to Siete Rayo por allá.
Ay, Dios mío. Oh, no, you got to do also the vitals and stuff.
The-
Like Siete Rayo, take a look. Ding, 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 ding. They approve this message.
Oh,
Brujeria joke, people. Brujeria jokes.
man. So we good? We don't got no more questions for Yvonne? She's free? You sure?
Yes.
Because I can hold her.
Porque
here.
ya yo
I
estoy,
can
mira,
hold
ya
her.
va para el
Vamos,
carro.
vamos a cerrar la puerta.
I think that it was a interview very nice and humble.
Yes.
We didn't have to
I
go
love it.
all the way back because everybody had heard her story.
Ay, yeah.
Even if you need to go more in details, visit her on YouTube
Yeah,
and on her
check her
podcast.
podcast out,
You know,
YouTube.
here we just want to make sure we just want to get a little feeling of her. Make friends.
She just wants to make friends
You
because
have-
I have a shovel.
You have way. You have way more personality than I expected you to. So that
Oh, let me
that
tell you.
that
What
was-
are you trying to say? That I got no
You-
personality?
No,
Oh,
you have.
espérate, hold
you
on
ha-
a
No,
second.
you haven't.
Espérate un momentito.
No, like on the videos that I've seen, you seem you're a little bit more like trying to keep yourself, in a certain way where now you're more looser and livelier.
That's because they slipped me something. I have to go figure this out.
That is because when anybody comes to this table and unity meet diversity, they come into this table with like not judge. We don't judge nobody. We here very nice and humble, and we here for you to open up to everybody. So when you come here, you don't feel that you are getting attacked, but we are here to receive the message, so everybody go see that message out there. So it's two different things.
No, absolutely. I say it all the time. This is my therapy. This table right here and this is my therapy.
A lot of things are happening in this.
There has been a lot of stuff that happened at this table. There has been a lot of truths and a
challenges,
lot of challenges
proposing.
and a lot of fixing,
Mhm.
So that's like we're big on that. We're
Counseling.
definitely trying
A little
to,
sake.
to fix whatever needs to be fixed. But so now
Oh boy.
I I love the fact, I got to see a different side of you because I was definitely not expecting this. This is
What
like-
did you?
this is
I'm
great.
nervous now. What
This is
did you
great.
expect?
This is great. No, not that I expected.
We was
anything
expecting
bad.
for you to come with a
I
shovel.
just-
It wasn't bad.
Shit! I should have taken it out. I do have a plastic shovel in the car. I do. It was supposed to be to take out the snow, which never comes over there more than a day.
So this is definitely this is great. I actually enjoyed this interview. This is really good. And this is the funniest interview I think that we've had. It was so serious, but yeah, so funny. Like at the same
So
time.
you are
Pretty good.
in North Carolina, right?
I am.
So have you been in Utunji?
No, I have not.
Really?
I
Like
love
right
it.
there.
It's
We've been there
nice,
like
beautiful.
twice already. I know the king
So-
over there.
So Omolade Olafemi is one of the founding fathers of Ojotunji.
Mhm.
So that's how I know some things about it. But I think I am okay with them over there and me over here. Maybe I'd love to visit, just to visit, honestly, just to visit.
No, yeah, it's
No,
cool.
just to
I'd
visit.
love
It is.
to
It's
visit,
very-
yeah. But I haven't been. I just know some people there.
It got very interesting things in there. Like, let's see.
I like some of the Shrino stuff that they have, which is really
Yeah.
nice because the artisans they've done well with it. I think that when it comes to Ojotunji, people need to make their decisions based on what's good for them. It's not
Yes.
going to work. So Lukumi is not for everybody.
No.
Voodoo is not for everybody.
No.
Candomblé is not for everybody. You got to pick what's for you.
Egungun is not for everybody.
Egungun tampoco es otro. Eso es otro.
Eso es otra cosa.
Bueno. So I'm sorry that I disappointed you, but I'm
No,
not.
no, not at all.
You-
Not
you-
at
you
all.
I'm sorry, but not
surpassed
sorry.
expectations.
Look, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, but just not.
I'm
You-
sorry, but not sorry.
I'm with her.
So
Let me,
not sorry.
let me tell you something.
You
made
were
it-
better than we expected.
Yeah, you made it so easy to interview. Like, I mean, this is easy. This is
They
like
scared the
so-
hell
so
out of
good.
me and they told me that they weren't going to give me no damn questions. Yo estaba unprepared. Estaba ya ready to run.
But now, serious sidebar, right? This, what we do here, like I always say pretty much on every podcast episode, we're literally trying to bring unity and diversity, which is why it's called Unity Meets Diversity. We have El Igualito Unity, which is pretty much where like I found you from there. I mean, I've seen you on YouTube and all that. I reached out and everything like that. Initially when you had dropped that episode, and I think that it's time that people really start to come together and try to unite and try to avoid things like this happening. To avoid completely, out of the way. But if we can find a group of people who really want to live this properly and really have like set minds to try to make change, then I feel that we could make change.
I agree.
So
I agree.
So I'm
with
gonna wait for you to
you,
get crowned.
so with you,
You want an invite? Mijita, get in line. A lot of people want to just be there para estar pelando el ojo.
so with you, I mean, I'm pretty sure almost everybody on the sun has hit you up, has tried to talk to you, whatever, etc. I'm sure you've weeded out good with bad and everything like that. So I'm trying to see how I want to say this.
How
I'm
about directly? I'm
waiting.
from New York.
Just,
Like, ya yo estoy esperando aquí.
Yeah,
She-
you beating around the bush.
yeah.
No.
She got a
I'm
tough
just,
skin.
I'm leading up to it. But so
Got me nervous here.
so like I said, we're here to bring unity with
Tension.
everybody.
I know, right? Just
So
say it.
so I ask you, you've been here, I think you kind of feel the vibe and everything like that. But if you have, or if
I
you
don't know
know
about that one.
anyone, if you have, or if you know anyone that has a similar mindset, I ask you to let's come together. Let's start to make change here, right? Because I feel that if we don't push it, it's never gonna happen.
You know what I think is going on? What I think is going on that this grupito is starting to make a change. And this grupito is starting to make a change. This grupito is starting to make a change. I know a lot of priests in our traditions and in separate areas, separate states want to do this. I think el problema is to getting everybody together. There's a lot of ego. Like I said, I don't care how many years. There's a lot of ego going on. And what I'm learning is that for the millennials and other, it is amazing to have them because they bring another set of
Set of-
brain
yes,
cells that
that's
I
true.
don't have. I think we need to understand that what you're doing here is important. But I think that you need to talk to other little grupitos that do similar things because that is how it's going to
Yes,
start
that's
connecting
true.
into something better and bigger. Because then you could get an idea de Prensejo and then this one, and then maybe there should be a major conference and not a
Actually,
major conference of the egg that know each other,
actually.
but it should be. But a lot of people are starting to do these kinds of things to unite. Like, I may not, one of the questions that I get a lot at Orisha Wisdom is how do I deal with my family? They're not going to understand this. That is one of the biggest questions we get. And my thing is, do you follow God? Then we good because then we do the same. Finding things that are similar to move forward is great. But unfortunately, people don't really want to sit at a table to say what's not working without any judgment. What's not working? Like, I honestly, I know that there are Oduns, for example, that talk about you can't say no. If a godchild comes and asks, you must say yes. I'm like, dude, there's got to be a way around it because sometimes you have to check out those possible godchildren también. You're going to be letting
You
these
found a
people
way
into the
around it?
house.
Please tell me.
We're going to talk about it later because some people may kill me. But there is a slight, because they sometimes they don't appreciate you. And there's a lot of work you need to do. So I think honestly, this work is important, but I think we need to start connecting to the other little groups.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Like I know some people who are starting with just their little peoples, but that's not enough. The reason why shit like what happened to me is because we don't have one source legally, like,
Yes.
whatever. Like we don't have one. So es más
Absolutely.
fácil to do bad things under the clandestine, you know what I mean? Like cover of whatever. So I think what you're doing is great. I think what would be even better is to connect you to other people who are also having their own images and how to 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 take a stab at the pie. 'Cause the pie is very big and you
Hmm.
have just a slice. But if you are now connecting to somebody else who has a slice, somebody else who has a slice, next thing you know,
That pie get bigger.
And that's kind of where I was. That's kind of where I was headed. Was, legally we're a nonprofit. We are formed. Um, we have our attorneys and everything like that, and we have political ties here in Long Island.
Counseling.
Um,
We are
we
counseling
have a
them.
little bit of everything. So it's kind of hard. Like I said, you who I feel that you may not know a lot, but you may know, like you said, your little group is here, there. Because I'm sure a lot of people have reached out to you, and you probably, like I said, you probably were able to kind of weed out good with bad, right? So I ask that maybe put us in contact. Maybe you being here and saying, "Hey, I had an interaction with these individuals." Maybe tell them to come sit in your seat, and we can talk about that.
I think this is something we can absolutely discuss. I think that there's a lot of great EGBIS, HILES, organizations, pero cuando uno lo está haciendo solito, the efforts are just too
Yeah,
big.
it's too much.
It's too big. There's a lot of people that are doing a lot of things, but like I'm saying, I think that people need to kind of put their egos to the side.
Yeah, but it's a lot of
Absolutely.
people that doing a lot of things like this right here, but they don't change, and the change is start by you. So if I'm gonna have someone here to sit here to fix the problem and fix any issue that you have with people, I think that they have to fix the issue first. And I think here is a judgmental free, and they could come here and open up to give the opportunity for everybody to come and fix their issues and their difference and everything. So we could be a good, what do you call it? A good source of, you know,
A resource.
a resource there. Nah, right there.
Yeah, I mean, I always say that. My vision or our vision for LA Igualito is kind of like us being a bridge to just different communities and just trying to make everything come together, you know? And I think it's important that people sit down and have a conversation. I have elders that I talk to and things, and there's people who support us and they really root for us. Um, but we need more. It's like it's not enough to just say I support you. It's like, no, we need support, meaning we need people to get up and actually say we're gonna sit down, we're gonna have this conversation, or this is going on and this is wrong, and supporting each other, like this is not correct, or trying to establish a sense of structure that we don't necessarily have.
You're going to have some trouble with that.
I know,
Hmm.
trust me, I'm up to the challenge though.
You're going to have some trouble with that. Sorry.
Kevin.
So I think that this is possible. But again, at some point, women weren't allowed to vote either.
But now we can.
And stuff happened in order for women to vote. You know what I mean? So it is possible. I think that, yeah, I think that there needs to be connections. I am more than happy to provide some starting talking points. I think that one thing that people really do need is to find fully vetted priests. I think that is a huge area to start. I think that that would be wonderful if something could be done that a name could be put through and magic happens. That would be great because then that we wouldn't be talking. Although I like talking to you, but we wouldn't have talked for this reason because then we would have somewhere to vet. So
Yeah, absolutely.
vetting is important because I'm going to be very honest with you. Just because you have a 503 whatever C means nothing unless
No,
you're fully
absolutely.
vetted. They need to know that, because just because you have X doesn't even mean X is real. So I think a proper vetting process would be ideal, because then that would help people. But something like this that has all of those areas for resources would be good, um, because I think that we would need it. I think that it has to be ease of use for people, like through insurance, if it has counseling, like that's all done and ready. And I commend you. It's not easy to start something, pero hay que empezar somewhere.
No, absolutely. That's
I'm
what we're
there.
trying to do.
That's
We're
it.
trying to start somewhere.
I'm there.
So with that being said, I think that it's a long podcast.
It's his
Time flew
fault because
by.
they had me driving. Now I got to drive back and can't.
So as always, guys, we appreciate you guys tuning in, watching us. We love you. Always strive forward. We died over there.
Love, peace, and hair grease, man. And live life intentionally.
Like always, live your life. Don't let it outlive you.
And like I always say, if you have any question or you want to fix any issue, always come to us. You need to meet diversity. Your friend here, Haisha Omilolde, que la bendición de ella Maya y todo lo que me acompaña siempre esté con ustedes.
I just wanted to say thank you for having me. Thank you for being here, because that says more about you, meaning that you're also willing to grow. Share this and share this channel, share this venue, because that's the one thing that we got. We got each other. So
Gotcha.
That being said,
Have
love
a
you
good night,
guys.
everybody.
Peace.
Thank you for tuning in.
yay.
Oof.
We all right now?
We're good.